W mrokach Mordoru władca ciemności Sauron wykuł jedyny pierścień, aby zniewolić elfy, krasnoludy i ludzi Śródziemia. Wolne ludy Śródziemia pokonały Saurona, ale pierścień zaginął. Teraz nieprzyjaciel powrócił i z czarnej wieży w Mordorze szuka pierścienia. Musimy pierwsi znaleźć pierścień i go zniszczyć. Ale kto zdoła ponieść pierścień? Słabi ulegną jego mocy.
Mój skarbie.
Silni staną się zagrożeniem nie mniejszym niż Sauron. Kto może ponieść pierścień?
Witaj znowu, Gandalfie. Będą jakieś fajerwerki? Lekcje elfickiego? Opowieści o pradawnym Numenorze?
Dzisiaj porozmawiamy o cieniu z przeszłości. Pierścień, który odziedziczyłeś, może być bardzo niebezpieczny.
Magiczny pierścień wuja Bilba?
Magiczne pierścienie, jak je nazywasz, były wykute przez elfów, ale ten, jak sądzę, wykuł ktoś inny. Daj mi go.
Nie!
Przyjrzyj się uważnie.
Widzę delikatne linie. Linie ognia. Tworzą napis. Co mówi?
Jeden, by wszystkimi rządzić. Jeden, by wszystkie odnaleźć. Jeden, by wszystkie zgromadzić i w ciemności związać. To jest jedyny pierścień, który ma władać innymi. Starożytni królowie elfów, krasnoludów i ludzi korzystali z pierścieni, aby rządzić swoimi krajami. Władca ciemności Sauron stworzył ten pierścień, aby zawładnąć pozostałymi. Stracił go, kiedy padł w dziwny stwór zwany Golumem, znalazł ten pierścień i uległ jego mocy. Bilbo wygrał go od Goluma, a teraz należy. Ale władca pierścieni powrócił i stara się za wszelką cenę odnaleźć jedyny
Zniszczmy
pierścień.
go!
Można go zniszczyć tylko tam, gdzie został wykuty. W górze przeznaczenia, górze ognia w krainie Mordor.
Zabierz go tam! Weź go!
Nie kuś mnie. Nie chciałbym stać się podobny władcy ciemności.
A więc muszę strzec pierścienia.
Pomogę ci dźwigać to brzemię, dopóki ty je dźwigasz.
Jestem zagrożeniem dla Shire'u. Muszę stąd odejść. Mogę wyruszyć w drogę, tak jak Bilbo.
Mój drogi Frodo, hobbici naprawdę są zdumiewającymi istotami. Nie myśl, że musisz iść samotnie. Może znasz kogoś, komu byłbyś w stanie zaufać. Ale bądź ostrożny. Wróg ma wielu szpiegów. Samie Gamgee, co tu robisz?
Darujcie, mistrzu Gandalfie!
Co robisz w backend?
Nic nie robię. Co najwyżej przycinam trawnik pod samym oknem.
Rzesz, twoje nożyce umilkły już jakiś czas temu. Jak długo strzygłeś uszami?
Uszami, panie? Strzygłem nożycami.
Nie udawaj durnia. Co słyszałeś?
Panie Frodo, niech pan nie pozwoli, aby przemienił mnie w jakąś szkaradę.
Nie skrzywdzi cię, ale odpowiedz szczerze na jego pytania.
Słyszałem wiele rzeczy, których ani różnie rozumiem. O jakimś wrogu, o pierścieniach i o ognistej górze i o elfach.
Jeśli choć słówko piśniesz, Gandalf zamieni cię w nakrapianą ropuchę.
Wymyśliłem coś lepszego. Wyruszysz z panem Frodo.
Ja, panie? Pójdę zobaczyć elfy i wszystkie inne cuda.
Ale dokąd mamy iść?
W stronę niebezpieczeństwa. Lecz niezbyt rychło i nie od razu. Nie śpiesz się. Przed wyruszeniem pozałatwiaj swoje sprawy.
Mogę ruszyć jesienią, w moje urodziny.
Dobrze, ale nie później. Skieruj się do Rivendell na wschodzie i szukaj rady u Elronda.
Na wschodzie powiem wszystkim, że kupuję dom w Ustroni, niedaleko moich krewniaków z Backlandu. Będę musiał sprzedać Bagent. Sackville Bagginsowie od lat próbują go przejąć. To wstyd, że teraz muszę im ustąpić.
Rzeczywiście. Ale muszę już iść. Mam wiele spraw.
Ja także.
Przypilnuj, żeby Samwise Gamgee się nie wygadał. Albo naprawdę zmienię go w nakrapianą ropuchę.
Można mu zaufać.
Oczywiście! Ani słowa od Samagamgi, to pewne!
Wyruszysz w drogę jako pan Underhill. Nazwisko Baggins nie gwarantuje bezpieczeństwa poza granicami Shire'u. I nie używaj pierścienia, gdyż zdeprawuje nawet całkiem niewinne serce.
Rozumiem. Żegnaj, Gandalfie.
Elfy! Zobaczę elfy!
Bądź zdrów, Frodo. Wrócę na twoje urodziny.
Jamal prestań. Amathonenen. Amathonachai. Ahanostonet. The power of the enemy is growing. Sauron will use his puppet Saruman to destroy the people of Rohan.
March to Helm's Deep! Leave none alive!
Isengard has been unleashed.
Look to my coming at first light on the fifth day. At dawn, look to the east. For a wizard is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he needs to. creatures of shadow.
Victory! We have victory!
Sauron's wrath will be terrible, his retribution swift. The eye of Sauron now turns to Gondor, the last free kingdom of men. His war on this country will come swiftly. He senses the ring will draw close, and the strength of the ring-bearer will fail. In the end, this war must be decided by the smallest of things. For the ring wanted to be found. My task began when I beheld it upon the floor of Bag End. But then I realized how cleverly it returned to the world of men. Riddles in the dark are precious. Still, questions needed answering. Secrets only Minas Tirith, ancient city of men, could reveal.
The year 3434 of the Second Age. Here follows the account of Isildur, King of Gondor, and the finding of the Ring of Power. It has come to me, the One Ring. It shall be an heirloom of my kingdom. All those who follow in my bloodline shall be bound to its fate, for I will risk no hurt to the ring. It is precious to me.
It was in this moment that all that must be done became terribly clear to me. I would weave a plan for a great war, yet count upon others as agents of our fate. It was the destiny of Aragorn, heir to the throne, to lead this war. I foresaw warriors of every race fighting as companions alongside him. Together we would spring a great trap before the walls of Minas Tirith. And to Mount Doom. And for this, our fate would lie in the hands of two small hobbits. For they, like us, will be in great peril. It was not mere chance that brought Merry and Pippin to Fangorn Forest.
Run, Mary!
It's talking, Mary. The tree is talking.
Tree? I am no tree. I am an ant. The Ents have not troubled about the wars of men and wizards for a very long time. But now something is about to happen that has not happened for an age. The Ents are going to war.
And now the event set in motion at Helm's Deep will be concluded. Isengard must be cleansed. And in the shade of Fangorn's trees, Saruman's Uruk-hai shall find.
Smoke rises from Isengard. The hour grows late, and now you strive for Isengard, seeking my counsel. For that is why you have come, is it not, my friend?
Hasten to Isengard!
When Sauron learns that the ring is in that place in my trap,
Don't you understand? The enemy thinks you have the ring. He's coming for you.
then the war will come, and Rohan will ride to Gondor's aid, striking from the north, unchecked by a now cleansed Isengard. Aragorn travels through Death's shadow to summon to the White City an army that even Sauron cannot master. With Pippin, I travel to Minas Tirith, the anvil upon which we must beat Sauron's armies, in our bid to buy Frodo and Sam enough time.
Word has reached my ears of this Aragorn, son of Elthor, and I tell you now, I will not bow to this stranger from the north.
Is there any hope, Gandalf? For Frodo and Sam?
There never was much hope. Just a fool's hope.
It will be before these wars that the doom of our time shall be decided.
Our stand. The enemy slays your people. We must save everyone we can.
Please protect the city!
To the inner walls! Death to you all!
We have saved as many as we can, but with the gates breached, it is only a matter of time before we leave our dead upon the 7 levels of Minas Tirith. My part in this battle is done. Our fate now lies in the hands of a hobbit and a king. To win this war, Sauron must believe we will use the ring against him. This will distract his gaze, weaken his borders, and lure his armies into our trap. For this I prepare a path for the return of Gondor's king. Sauron will be certain Aragorn, Isildur's heir, received the Ring of Power. Aragorn also carries before him the only weapon Sauron cannot abide, and the only power before which a dead king is armed and bow. To set this trap, Aragorn and his companions must travel to the Grimmaborg. Deep inside this haunted mountain, they will face terrible trials. They must overcome the wrath of an ancient, cursed realm and summon forth its king. Out of darkness Aragorn must call an army even Sauron's horde cannot withstand. For in our plans, the living cannot defend Minas Tirith without the fury of those long dead.
The way is shut. It was made by those who are dead, and the dead keep it. The way is shut.
Malice lies heavy in the air.
This way!
Any way would be fine about now. Aragorn will be forced to rise above fear. For as king, he will need to stand against Sauron's malice and unite all who fear Mordor. Aragorn and his companions must first break the will of the king of the dead. For Isildur cursed him, and now his heir must master his malice. Without this victory, our cause shall be forever lost. Aragorn's path leads him through this terrible place, where a king of those long dead commands the fate of those not born. He must be forced to yield.
Who enters my domain?
One who would hold you to your oath!
The dead do not suffer living to pass.
Fight for me and I will release you from this living death! What say you?
I yield!
We must get out of here! Have we failed?
The dead shall fight when your people are closest to us.
Vengeance from an army long dead. Aragorn's road will at last lead him back to the White City. He shall head northward and then through Gondor's southern gate, here to join the great battle of our time.
That will do it! The foul creature of the south! This is more welcome than this dwarf deserves.
Our tower is ours.
Someone comes! They're trying to block us! The horns of Rohan! Help comes at last! Hasten to them before the battle!
It will require all of my skill and all of our luck to spring a trap lifetimes in the making. In the end, it will be decided here upon the fields of Pelennor, before the gates of Minas Tirith. From the south, Aragorn will summon forth an army from beyond the grave, but perhaps too late. For against our stronghold, the Dark Lord summons both man and beast to oppose us. An army of powerful forces, more terrible than we can imagine. And from the north, at my urging, Rohan shall ride to war and the world's ending.
Here they come! Easterling! Orcs!
The Mumakil destroy everything in their path. Stop them before they reach Eowyn and Merry.
Help them! Stop that beast!
Lady, I won't leave you!
They...
Mary!
Pathetic warrior!
I will kill
kill you if you touch him!
Kill me, thou fool! No living man can slay me!
I am no man! You look upon a woman!
I don't have an axe big enough for this one.
Behold! The dead have come to save the living!
My plans have ended in a day of great sacrifice. Gondor lies shattered in the greatest battle of our age. But the enemy regroups, and our war is not yet won. For the ring still survives. The last living men have witnessed the return of their king.
He has gone unchallenged long enough.
And together we now ride upon Sauron's realm to create our final diversion. Give Frodo one last chance.
I have a token I was bidden to show thee.
Frodo's mithril vest. The poor hobbit must be dead.
I shall give you a message for your master.
I guess that concludes negotiations.
We have drawn his army to the Black Gate. For ourselves there is no hope. This is our final act to give Frodo time to end this evil that marshals before us. For ourselves there is no hope. This is our final act to give Frodo time to end this evil that marshals before us.
Fight on, Gimli!
We now give witness to that day when the courage of men faces the final test. Or shall it be an hour of wolves before the age of men comes crashing down? The eye of Sauron will be upon us, mistaking our audacity for power. We must hold his gaze long enough for the unthinkable to become real, for hope to conquer all. Who knows the ways of the enemy and the paths into Mordor? For all three of them are bound to the fate of the ring and to the fate of each other.
We swears to do what you want. We swear.
You know the way to Mordor?
Yes.
While we occupy Sauron's gaze, together they must bear the ring into the very fires of Mount Doom. And should they be captured or kept, great peril may befall them, and all hope may be lost.
Where are you going?
Get down!
Come on, hobbits. Long way to go yet. Hurry away, hurry now. My spear gets us away. Hurry, hobbitses. Hurry. See? We have led you out. Smeagol looks after Master. wouldn't hurt us.
And now the ring moves closer to the fires of Mount Doom, to the peril of all who travel that road.
Where are you, Smeagol?
We could let her do it.
Gollum's treachery may yet be the ruin of our plans, and only guide Frodo to his doom.
You don't see it, do you?
Precious will be ours.
He's leading us into a trap.
Once the hobbitses are
Yet always hope endures.
Can't stop me! You will not! Come back, you! I'm not done! Mr. Frodo! It's Sam, wake up! Not asleep. Dead.
Looks like old Sheloff's been having some fun.
The little filth will wake up and wish he'd never been born. Take him back to the fortress.
Sam, help me! The maggot tried to knife me. Can't let those stinking mortal rats take the place over. We got us a bunch of boys spoiling for a fight. Split them up. Get to the best spots. End this thing. No less
We're getting clobbered! Pull out! Into the tower, boys! Hurry!
Hey, you scumbag! Hands off the shiny shirt! That's mine!
Let him...
Sam!
Come on, Mr. Frodo. I know the way out of here.
Thank you, Sam.
We're close to Mount Doom now. Just a short way more and you'll be free of that ring.
It will come to one final test, one final moment.
We shall see the Shire again.
All life upon Middle-earth will hinge upon everything that came before it.
His filthy little neck.
Get back, Sam!
Precious!
For all who live here, I wove but a spell of trust and fellowship given freely. One that shall now endure without me. My work is finished. The work of others is about to begin.
Poniosę to brzemię. Ja pójdę z pierścieniem.
Trzy pierścienie dla królów elfickich pod niebem jasnym, 7 dla krasnoludzkich władców we dworach kamiennych, 9 dla ludzi, którym śmierć jest sądzona, 1 władcy ciemności na czarnym tronie w Mordorze, ziemi, gdzie ciemność zaległa. 1, by nimi władać, 1, by je znaleźć, 1, by je zgromadzić i wszystkie skrępować. W Mordorze, ziemi, gdzie ciemność zaległa.
In the land of Mordor, in the fires of Mount Doom, the Dark Lord Sauron forged in secret a master ring. And into this ring he poured his cruelty, his malice, and his will to dominate all life. One by one, the free lands of Middle-earth fell to the power of the ring. But there were some who resisted. A last alliance of men and elves marched against the armies of Mordor, and on the slopes of Mount Doom they fought for the freedom of Middle-earth. Victory was near, but the power of the ring could not be undone. It was in this moment, when all hope had faded, that Isildur, son of the king, took up his father's sword. The One Ring was lost for thousands of years. Now, destiny has placed the ring in the care of an unlikely creature, a hobbit, Frodo Baggins. Along with the help of his friends, Frodo set forth on a perilous journey to the land of Mordor to destroy the ring in the fires of Mount Doom. But the Dark Lord Sauron has again emerged, and with vengeance he commands an army bred but for one purpose, to destroy the free peoples of Middle-earth. Sauron now desperately searches for that which was his in ages past. Should Sauron find the One Ring, darkness shall once again fall upon Middle-earth.
Welcome to the Battle for Middle-earth tutorial. Here you will learn the basics of how to lead your forces into war. In the Battle for Middle-earth, it is your goal to defeat the forces of the enemy, capture their lands, and destroy their castles. You will command the armies of good and evil, conquer the lands of your enemy, and seal the fate of the One Ring. There are two main portions of the game: the living world and battle mode. The living world map will allow you to survey all of Middle-earth, and it is from here that you will make high-level strategic choices. You may left-click to zoom in. When zoomed in, you can decide which territory to conquer in order to collect bonuses for your army. To scroll through the map, push your cursor toward the edge of the screen to move in that direction. When choosing which territory to attack, left-click to select an active army. Then right-click on an enemy region to send your selected army to that location. When you attack an enemy region, you must fight that battle before continuing on. Active battles will be noted by blue arrows pointing to a gold battle marker. Left-click the battle marker to enter battle mode. The most critical portion of the game is battle mode. In battle mode, you will be tasked with creating castles or camps, collecting resources, and building an army in order to destroy your enemies. Your forces will consist of infantry, creatures, heroes, and structures. To scroll through the map, push your cursor toward the edge of the screen to move in that direction. To move your units, left-click on a soldier to select him.
Keep on your guard!
Soldiers move in battalions. Selecting a single soldier will select the entire battalion. Right-click on open ground
Take this area.
to move your battalion to that location. Left-click on open ground to deselect your units. Deselecting your units will help you avoid issuing unintended orders. Notice that your selection icon changes to an attack cursor when you have units selected and move your mouse over an enemy. To attack, select a unit and right-click on the enemy.
Attack! Our forces are under attack!
To attack enemy structures, select a unit and right-click on the building.
Take their buildings down!
Attacking walls and gates works the same way. The only siege weapons, like trebuchets, may attack walls. Camps and castles are at the center of your war effort. When your last camp or castle is destroyed, so are you. So be sure to protect them at all costs. To build a camp or castle, send your forces to a site and left-click on it.
Stand ready!
Then left-click on the Build button to begin its construction. Once your camp or castle is built, you may begin to construct useful buildings like barracks or stables. To create these buildings, left-click on any circular plot in your castle, then left-click on the building you wish to construct.
Gondor's new archery range is ready!
Infantry, creatures, heroes, and structures cost resources. To get more resources, construct buildings that generate resources, like farms or slaughterhouses.
The farm is ready!
The amount of resources you possess is displayed at the bottom of the palantir. To build more troops, select a building that generates troops, such as a barracks or an archery range. Left-click on a button to create the desired troop type. Your troops will emerge from the building once they are trained.
Archers at the ready!
Using buildings causes them to gain veterancy.
Soldier battalion standing by!
Higher veterancy buildings can often build new troop types or upgrades.
We've improved the barracks!
Command points represent the number of troops you're allowed to train. You cannot build more troops than you have command points. To get more command points, conquer important territories in Middle-earth. Your command point limit is displayed at the bottom of the Palantir along with your resources. The central building of your castle is the Citadel. If the Citadel is destroyed, you cannot build new buildings, and your damaged buildings will not be able to repair themselves. Left-click on the plot beneath the Citadel to rebuild it should it be destroyed. Gates can be opened or closed by selecting them and left-clicking on the Open or Close button. The legends of Middle-earth are filled with heroic deeds. The heroes in the battle for Middle-earth are vital to your success in battle. Heroes like Gandalf are stronger than other units and can gain levels as they kill enemies. When left-clicking on the hero,
Well, let them come.
his or her rank is shown on a picture in the Palantir. High-ranking heroes have many abilities. To use an ability, select the hero and left-click on the ability. Then right-click on the target. Some heroes have passive abilities that do not need to be clicked, such as Aragorn's leadership ability. Heroes may be summoned from citadels. Left-click on a citadel and left-click on a hero button to summon a hero.
I will guide the strength of men.
If a hero should fall in battle, he may be revived at your citadel.
A wizard arrives precisely when he means to.
As your units vanquish their foes, they will gain veterancy experience. Veteran units deal more damage, are more resistant to enemy attacks, and will heal themselves. There are multiple levels of veterancy, each offering more powerful bonuses. Veteran infantry units are indicated by accompanying banner carriers. Veteran creatures are indicated by improved armor or war paint. Veteran units will also stay with you throughout your campaign. They will retain their veterancy status and upgrades as you progress from mission to mission. Like units, your buildings may increase their veterancy. The more you use a structure, the more potent it becomes.
Improve the archery range!
Certain units or upgrades cannot be built until a building gains veterancy. Tower guards, for instance, cannot be trained until the Gondor Barracks increases its veterancy level.
We guard the White Tower!
The power of the One Ring and the power of the Even Star can change the fate of Middle-earth. The One Ring or the Even Star grows in power as you destroy your enemies or conquer regions of Middle-earth. The amount of power points you have available to spend will appear on the One Ring or Even Star at the top of the Palantir. Left-click on the One Ring or Even Star when in battle mode to view your powers. When you have collected enough power points, you may select new powers to aid you. Your purchased powers will appear on the left side of the screen just above the Palantir. When your power is ready, you may left-click on it to use it. Some powers, such as Gandalf the White, are passive and do not need to be clicked on again once they are purchased. Thank you for watching the Battle for Middle-earth tutorial. Follow these simple guidelines, and you will soon dominate the whole of the land. Good luck!
In the final years of the Third Age, Middle-earth stands on the brink of destruction. The Free Peoples are under threat from Sauron, the Lord of the Rings, who prepares his vast armies for war. At this late hour, the leaders of elves, dwarves, and men come together at the Council of Elrond to decide their next move. After the Fellowship is assembled and heads south to destroy the source of Sauron's power, the remaining leaders prepare for the Dark Lord's assault upon the northern lands. The elven and dwarven races have always had little trust for each other, but now they must unite and fight a common enemy.
Middle-earth enjoyed 1,000 years of peace after the ring was lost, and the death of Isildur. But Sauron was not dead, only cast to Before Arnor can be invaded, the Witch King needs a symbol to unite Angmar's proud and willful denizens. Legends say that here in ages past loomed a great fortress of the ancient darkness, its ruins dark and silent in the mountains. Rebuilding this bastion will secure the Iron Crown's dominion over the Black Númenóreans and the northern troll tribes.
Here, among these dark peaks, we will build a stronghold to bring ruin to the North Kingdom. There is great evil in this place, especially the Black Númenóreans, men whose dark loyalties and fire for dominion we must rekindle. What's this? A warrior troll who fights like a trained swordsman. He would make a useful servant, indeed.
It began long ago when the Dark Lord Sauron crafted a ring of power to enslave the world of Middle-earth. To resist his malice, a last alliance of elves and men marched forth against his...
Archers ready! Fire!
The Dark Lord Sauron was overthrown that day, and the One Ring slipped from his iron grasp. And with its loss, Sauron was at last undone. But the power of the ring was not destroyed, and for as long as the ring exists, the spirit of Sauron lives on in our world. But the ring refused its new master and was lost, and for 2,500 years, Middle-earth was free of its evil. In the Third Age, war came again to Middle-earth, as the will of Sauron searched anew for his ring. The Dark Lord compelled many into his service, including Saruman, a once great and wise wizard. Thus war came to Rohan, forcing King Theoden to seek refuge in the fortress of Helm's Deep. And now a vast army shall assault these ancient walls with siege ladders and war machines. To survive, the defenders must hold the deeping wall and the gate to the keep, but all must beware the devilry of Saruman's devices.
Catapult! Smash the wall! The Orcs soon break in! Retreat! We held the main gate valiantly, but the...
Through the bravery and sacrifice of many, King Theoden has led the people of Rohan to victory. But the danger has not passed, for the pits of Isengard and Moria yet remain. And Sauron directs all evil from atop his dark tower. Yet the seeds of resistance have been planted, for Gondor still stands defiant, and an ancient slumbering power has now awakened to aid their cause. And in this great war, the White Wizard shall lead us, for it is his destiny to contest Sauron for the fate of all of Middle-earth. Trusting his army had destroyed Theoden's people at Helm's Deep, Saruman believed himself secure in his tower of Orthanc. But the ringed walls of Isengard proved no defense against the vengeance of Ents and men. And within Saruman's pits, many wrathful Rohan prisoners awaited liberation, while his machineries belch foul vapors. Above, Saruman directs his defense and marshals his sorcery, for the battle is far from certain. And now Ent and Rohirrim alike must face Saruman's wrath.
With him!
His power shattered, Saruman could not prevail against the courage that was arrayed against him, and in the end, his betrayal was avenged. Treebeard now serves as master of Orthanc, and the pits of Isengard have been cleansed of Saruman's filth. But the Dark Lord's power has not been broken, for Saruman served merely as a pawn, a distraction to weaken Gondor's borders. Within Mordor, the armies of Sauron grow, and his war has hardly begun. To the north, the mines of Moria also grow ever more deadly. Here, in times past, Gandalf cast down the Balrog after days of combat. That terrible battle cost him his very life, but permitted the Ringbearer to escape those dark and dreadful halls. But the great underground city of Moria still remains a breeding pit for goblins and other foul things. Now is the moment when the free people must at last reclaim Moria, and Gimli the Dwarf shall lead them. Yet all must remain wary, for fissures open everywhere, and Gandalf fears that a new evil might stalk those ancient halls.
And returned with your life.
The creature from the depths returns to life! We must withstand...
At last, the Balrog of Morgoth is broken and has been cast down, returning to the bottomless pits of Moria. The ancestral home of the dwarves has now been reclaimed, and the creatures that infested it flee our wrath. But Moria's liberators dare not tarry, for the Dark Lord Sauron has now unleashed his armies upon the world, and all the free people must hasten to its defense. Osgiliath shall play yet another part in this war. Faramir brought the Ringbearer here, but wisely allowed him to continue his quest. Now a garrison of Gondor's defenders keep watch, ever wary. The warriors that hold this outpost secretly hope for Faramir and his Ithilien rangers to return at dawn. But the rank...
Here they come! Hold them here, men! Well guarded! The Hobbit has survived Osgiliath and may continue his journey. Well
Faramir fights valiantly against the forces of Mordor, but his warriors cannot all stand before the relentless tide. Many share a grim fate, and few survive the onrushing horror. Sauron's massive armies continue their great assault against us all. The remaining defenders of the West are the enemy's final barrier, for they wish to slay all who remain within Middle-earth. The enemy is as countless as the leaves of the forest, and hope seems lost, for the Dark Lord cares not how many shall fall. Now the darkness falls upon Gondor, and Minas Tirith is encircled by a ring of iron-shod malice. Great siege towers lumber towards the beleaguered walls, each burdened with a deadly orc horde. Upon the main gate, the Dark Lord unleashes Grond, a terrible battering ram of wolf-like wrath. For hope of victory, Gondor's warriors must hold each ring of their city for as long as they're able, before retreating deeper within their burning citadel.
Lieutenant of this realm! Slay him now!
There was no hope of survival in that final hour for any who stood upon the battlefield, yet they did not despair. Although their enemies drew near and their arms grew weary, no man held fear in his heart. But fate decreed our world was not destined to end in that hour. It ended in triumph, and not despair. Weakened by the One Ring's power, at last Frodo claims it for himself, and the very foundations of Middle-earth are shaken. The Dark Lord desperately hopes for his very body to be restored to him. But to stride forth upon Middle-earth once more, Sauron requires Frodo's ring, and for this he will gladly pay any price. At the Dark Lord's command, his Nazgûl now hasten to Mount Doom, all other thoughts banished from their minds. They obey but a single deadly aim, to slay Frodo and gain the ring, now that it lies within Sauron's grasp. Many orc garrisons boldly dare to covet the ring for themselves, rising up in riot and civil war, and marching upon Mount Doom. But the onrushing Nazgûl shall tolerate no delay. Sensing that the tide has turned, the free people of Middle-earth must now retreat and prepare to defend their realms. The power of Sauron is restored, and few who still survive this war dare hope to oppose it. But the Dark Lord's pride remains stung by Gondor's recent victories, and he intends to extract full retribution. With new calls again to life many of his darkest heroes and champions, to slay once more in his name. Crossing the River Anduin under a blanket of darkness, an orc scouting force begins Sauron's renewed assault upon our world. The orc onslaught will be launched at midnight, striking like a dagger at the heart of Osgiliath. The most deadly blow shall be struck by an elite horde, lying in wait upon the far shore to identify their targets. For those dark hearts wish greatly to see Osgiliath burn. The Dark Lord must be pleased, for a ruined city has once more been ground beneath the boot of the orc. Faramir and all of his men are shown no mercy, nor did they expect to receive it. And for Sauron's hordes, the road is again laid open into the heartland of Gondor. Now, within the camps of Mordor, the Dark Lord calls forth fresh legions. For this time he shall utterly crush those who dare stand against him. Minas Tirith is breached. The gates are shattered and the lower walls of the city are overrun. The men of Gondor attempt a valiant defense, but Sauron's hordes have taken full measure of this frail city, and they will not be denied. The guards of the citadel shall defend their city to the last man, and it may soon come to that. They all fear the end draws near, for the darkness is nearly complete. Those where dead kings of Gondor watch in horror. To the white tree that burns, all is now in ruin. Orcs now hold banquet in the white tower of Ecthelion, and desecrate both king and commoner alike. Thus passes Minas Tirith, the White City. Upon their relentless march, the armies of Mordor must now pass through the mines of Moria. It is here that Gimli has chosen to make his final stand. But he and the other survivors have had no time to prepare their defenses. And Moria yet remains a dark and dangerous realm for all who dare enter its gates. It is feared that Sauron holds knowledge of Moria's darkest secrets, and has charged his force with a terrible ritual. For the sake of the dwarf and his followers, we must hope the Dark Lord's power cannot yet call into this world a Balrog of Morgoth.
Get away, you fools! A Balrog is coming back to life, so that dwarf thinks he owns the place. Let's bury him in it, boys!
The flame of Udun has been unleashed again upon the world of Middle-earth, and like his kin, the dwarf Gimli and all who dared follow him into the darkness have been slain by this creature. Moria now remains forever a place of evil that none dare enter. And now his Nazgul venture forth once more to search out the Dark Lord's final victims. The armies of the West have been forced to make their final stand upon the ruins of Weathertop. Here, in ages past, the Witch King led his great host in terrible victory. And here the northern armies of men were crushed, the tower of Amon-Sul reduced to ruin. Now the broken stones of this place shall bear witness to a last desperate struggle, for there can no longer be any retreat from the onrushing forces of darkness.
Ain't that King Aragorn up on the watchtower? Kill him! End this thing!
Aragorn, descendant of Isildur and king of all the free peoples, was at last vanquished. Our last and greatest hope for victory was in the end thrown down by the same barbaric creatures who killed his father years before. Now the ranks of the Dark Lord swell as a rising tide of malice and hatred, and all shall be overwhelmed by that great black wave. Rivendell has become an island, storms raging upon all sides. The last elves of Middle-earth have gathered with me here to make our final stand. Should the elves of Rivendell fail to halt Sauron's onrushing tide, little will remain to resist the smothering darkness. We must sacrifice our immortality here, in service of all that yet survives in Middle-earth.
This will remain! At last, Elrond the Elf King shall let's finish the job. Find that elf! Kill Legolas dead! Kill the Elf King! Put an end to all this!
My people could not defeat the Orc horde. Only a handful survived to carry on the fight. I was one of those unfortunate few. Only the kindest and most pure of Middle-earth's inhabitants still remain. And now the shadow of the Dark Lord prepares to fall upon them as well. At last the Dark Lord's iron fist encircles the innocents of the Shire. There will be no escape for the hobbits from the war that now enters their quiet borders. The last free men might attempt to aid them, but all must face an overwhelming enemy. Warg riders and great war beasts mass for the attack, and none left alive can withstand their power. Perhaps then, with Gandalf, we might sell our own lives most dearly. In desperation, Treebeard leads the final march of the Ents. With their aid, and with many halfling archers, perhaps the Shire can resist for a brief while.
No more hobbits! They had nice homes, now they got graves! That's the end, Treebeard! Don't let him spoil the fun! We dine on Hobbit tonight! So that's Gandalf the White! Kill the wizard! Let's make this slaughter complete! The wizard is gone! The sun!
History is no more for this happy race. Their hobbit holes are now too southern. Treebeard was in the end no match for the fury of the orcs. He now serves as a bonfire, into which halfling bodies are thrown. Even the great wizard Gandalf could not stand before the Dark Lord. He has fallen and cannot be restored. His purpose here has ended. Those who did not fight in this war shall now become the final victims. Their homes shall be burnt, and the future of their children shall be sacrificed upon Sauron's cruel altar. Death and ruin are all that shall remain. For the Dark Lord's...
An ancient evil has arisen from the shadows. Sauron gathers power. His malice inflames those who follow him. To the north, he sends Agandaur, cruel master of dark sorceries, to crush all who would dare oppose him. Against this rising shadow stand those who do not seek glory, who do not seek power. Those who fight to stem the onslaught. To protect their people, their lands, and all of Middle-earth. Three bright flames of courage to challenge the darkness. Of the Great War of the Ring, many songs have been sung, and many tales told. The names of heroes like Gandalf the Grey, Aragorn the King, and Frodo the Ring-Bearer are greatly revered, and rightly so. Yet Sauron's grasp stretched much further than the lands of Gondor and Rohan alone, and his forces might have done great evil in the north of Middle-earth, had a handful of heroes not stood in his path. Their stories, too, deserve to be told. Pay heed now to one such tale, which begins here in the town of Bree, just a few short days before Frodo arrived on his quest.
Aragorn. Eredon. Well met. And in company with Andriel of Rivendell and Farin of Erebor. An unlikely trio to find walking through the doors of the Prancing Pony. You were at Sarn Ford last I knew. Do you bear news from Halbarad?
Yes. Grim news.
I feared it would be so. Quickly, tell me what has happened, but keep your voices low. There are unfriendly ears, even here in Bree.
3 days passed. The guard at Son Ford was attacked by 9 Black Riders.
Stand fast, Rangers!
We were overwhelmed, and the enemy passed into the Shire.
This is worse than I imagined. I know these riders. It is from Mordor they come. Our folk could not hope to stand against the 9 together. How bad were our losses?
Very bad. We tried to resist them, but they were surrounded by an aura of unnatural dread.
There is more you should know. After the rout, one of the Black Riders met with an ally, a man of great malice and power.
As our master commanded, I have stirred up the orcs of the mountains. Even now I have a force gathering amid the ruins of Old Fornost.
Return at once and prepare your forces. We will have need of them soon.
My orcs will be ready. These lands have known peace for too long. They will soon feel the Dark Lord's wrath.
If this Agandaur has a force at Fornost, then our position grows all the more desperate.
But why all this force against the peaceful halflings? It can't be the enemy sees them as a threat.
I will say this much. There is a hobbit of the Shire who should be coming this way with a great burden. If it falls into the hands of the enemy, it will mean doom for us all. Now this hobbit is adrift on the road with enemies all around. I must find him before they do. And I need you to help me keep him safe.
You are my chieftain. I will gladly do whatever you command.
I'm a part of this now as well.
Then we 3 are of one mind. How can we aid you?
We must reduce the threat from the enemies gathered at Fornost. Travel there and do whatever you can to keep the enemy's eye turned towards you and away from the Shire.
Perhaps we will have help in this task. Eladan and Elro here were in the north when last I heard. Any gathering of the enemy is certain to attract their attention.
Good. You could find no better allies than the sons of Elrond half-elven.
I hope we meet. But with or without help, the enemy will be kept busy. We'll make sure of that. I have a few questions, if I may, Aragorn.
Shh. Here in Bree, there is no Aragorn. Only Strider the Ranger.
Yes, Strider it is. But what will you do now?
I will continue the search for the hobbit I spoke of. I've already scoured the road between here and the Shire, but found no trace of him. I fear he may have left the road, perhaps to escape pursuit. My hope now is that he will make his way here to Bree, the only safe haven for many miles. But if he does not appear soon, I will take to the road again in search of him. Should the enemy at Fornost join in the hunt, well, you understand just how grim our chances will become. I need you to prevent that. Go to Fornost. Take the fight to them.
I don't understand why you hide your name. Surely it is a name to be proud of.
The Dark Lord in Mordor would not be pleased to know that Isildur's heir still lives. The time is not right for Aragorn, son of Arathorn, to stand revealed to the world. For now, I am simply Strider.
What of this man, Agandaur, who met with the Black Riders? What do you make of him?
Some servant of the Dark Lord, and by his name one to be feared. His presence in the north bodes ill for us all, but I'm glad you discovered it. At least now we are forewarned.
Those things that attacked us at Son Ford, those Black Riders, I've never seen anything like them before. What are they?
Do you not know them? There are whispered tales and legends enough that tell of them. They are the Nine, the ring wraiths. Of all the servants of the enemy, they are the most feared.
This Agendour, he was no wraith. He seemed like a man, one filled with malice and dark power, but a man nonetheless. But what kind of man would serve the Dark Lord?
Not all the Dark Lord's servants are wraiths and orcs. There have been and still are many men, warriors and kings that walk alive under the sun, and yet are under his sway, willing or unwilling.
What can you tell me of Fornost?
Fornost was once a great city, the capital of the Dunedain kingdom of Arnor. It fell to the Witch King long ago. The men of Gondor and the elves formed an alliance that drove the Witch King out, but Fornost was never rebuilt. The ruins remain a place of dread for many. The men of Bree call it Dead Man's Dyke and fear to go near. It is a perfect place for our enemies to gather in secret.
So, Agendour chose well, it seems. We'll travel to Fornost and see what we can do to upset his plans.
Welcome to Bree. You're a stranger around here. May I ask you a few questions?
What sort of questions?
We hear a lot of talk from travelers these days. Most of them speak of war and of a growing shadow in the east. The townsfolk just dismiss this. Say it's far away and doesn't concern us, but I'm not so sure. You've traveled, maybe seen a few things. What's your opinion? Should we be worried?
There is much to worry about, and the danger is not far off.
I was afraid of that. If only I could convince others. But until then, I will have to take action on my own.
What do you intend to do?
I'd like to arrange for arming the town. We'll need more than pitchforks if we're forced to defend ourselves. I tried to convince a dwarven merchant to bring us weapons, but he refused.
Perhaps I should talk to him.
It's worth a try. His name is Groff. He's selling his wares from a market stall down the street. You might still find him there.
I will let you know what he has to say.
Hello, Master. A ranger by your looks, I'd say. Well, all are welcome here, long as they mean no harm. Some of the locals may not take to your kind, but don't let that bother you none. Folks around here are suspicious of those they don't know. What can I do for you, then?
What can you tell me of Bree?
Oh, Bree is an old place. Been here for ages and ages. This is the only place in the world you'll find hobbits and men living side by side. We used to see a lot of travellers coming through Bree. Not so much nowadays. But I still get customers enough to keep me busy.
Tell me about your inn.
The Prancing Pony's been in my family for generations. I can't rightly say how long, it goes that far back. I'm told there's been an inn on this spot nearly as long as there's been a town.
What news have you heard lately?
Lately, the talk's mostly about trouble away to the south. Seems like there may be war or some other calamity brewing down there. Folks have been coming up the Greenway, or the old road from the south, looking for a place to find some peace.
I may have need of a few things before I leave town. Where should I look?
Well, we have stores and shops here in town, but I suspect most of them wouldn't suit your needs. You might try Adelgar Oldbank's shop. He's got a collection of unusual items which might interest you. It's right across the street from here, on the corner. If it's repairs you need, try Elman Brushwood, our blacksmith. His smithy is just across the street, there on the corner.
I must be going.
What have we here? A stranger in town. A stranger's just what I'm looking for. Interested in a little harmless pastime? It's time to make some money from it.
What sort of pastime did you have in mind?
Why, nothing more than a simple game of riddles is all. I love a good game of riddles. But everyone in town has already heard all I know. I reckon I could stump you, though.
I am no stranger to the riddle game. But how is money involved?
It's simple. You stake some money and I ask you a riddle. If you give the right answer quick enough, I'll double your money. If you're wrong, the coins go to me. What do you say?
Very well. Let's hear your riddle.
First, you have to put up your money. How much do you care to wager? Remember, you stand to double it if your wits are quick enough. Done. Now remember, you'll have to answer quick. I won't give you long with real money at stake. Are you ready?
Yes. Let me hear your riddle.
The more of these you take, the more you leave behind. What are they? Oh, right you are. You're a smart one. Give me a chance to win it back, eh? What do you say to double or nothing on another try?
Very well. Double or nothing. Ask away.
My life can be measured in hours. I serve by being devoured. Thin I am quick, fat I am slow, wind is my foe. What am I? No, that's not the answer. Looks like I'm the richer. Nobody beats a Bree Hobbit for spinning out a real tough riddle.
Fairly played. But how about giving me another chance?
All right, if you think your purse can stand it. How much do you want to wager this time? That's a good deal of money. But nobody gets the better of old Tedder Hedgerow when it comes to riddles. It's a wager. Now, remember, you'll have to answer quick. I won't give you forever with that kind of money at stake. Are you ready?
Yes. Let me hear your riddle.
What belongs to you that others use more than you do? Oh, right you are. You're a smart one. Give me a chance to win it back, eh? What do you say to double or nothing on another try?
That is enough for me. Thanks for the game. And the coin.
Hello there. Ranger, are you? Let me guess. You've sprung some rivet or busted a blade out there roaming about the wild, and you need old Elmin to make it right again.
You recognize me as a ranger, do you? Then you must know some of my folk.
Know 'em? No, not really. You're kinda usually tight-lipped, like to keep your secrets and all. But I have dealt with a fellow named Ador now and again. Trades me work for tools and iron on occasion. He knows his way around an hammer and anvil, he does.
Well now, if you don't mind my saying so, you don't look much like a Breelander. Is there something I can do for you?
I have a favor to ask of you.
A favor? What sort of favor?
I would like you to bring a store of weapons to sell to the Bree folk.
You're pulling my beard. Weapons for these folk? They wouldn't know which end of the sword to hang on to. I might as well try selling shoes to hobbits.
They may have had no need of weapons in the past, but these are unsettling times. They must be able to defend themselves.
I'll not deny times are growing dark. There's trouble all around. But you'll never get these folks to believe it. Life's been too easy for them for too long.
Not everyone is blind to the growing threat. It was one of the townsmen who sent me to ask this of you. There are others who are worried as well.
It'll take more than a few sensible folk to make it worth my time. These people are simple and peace-loving. It's plowshares they want, not swords.
Don't let their past prevent them from preparing for their future. It would be wrong to leave them defenseless.
You're right, of course. Maybe it's not such a bad idea after all. At least I'd have no competition. All right, I'll do it.
Excellent. I will let them know of your decision. Safe travels, Gruff.
As soon as I've sold a few more tools, I'll be on my way back to the Blue Mountains to arrange for that shipment of weapons.
What can you tell me about the Blue Mountains and your people?
The Blue Mountains are prosperous enough, although we find more iron than gold. We rely on iron working for our livelihood. That's why I'm here selling tools to the Breelanders.
I hope you have continued peace and prosperity. Farewell.
This is Fornost, yet I see no sign of the enemy.
These ruins could hide a large army. We might even now be under the gaze of unfriendly eyes. Mine.
I thank you, friends. Without your timely arrival, my death would have been slow, but certain.
You can speak.
Why, of course. The great eagles of the north speak as well as any man. I am called Belaram. My home is in the Misty Mountains, and I serve Gwaihir, Lord of Eagles. Who is it I have to thank for my rescue?
I am Eridan, one of the Dunedain of the north, and my companions are Andriel and Farin.
Then I am indebted to you, Eridan of the Dunedain, and to your friends.
What brought you here to Fornost?
I often range far across the lands of the north, gathering news for Gwaihir, my lord. When I saw activity here in long-abandoned Fornost, I grew curious and flew lower to investigate.
What did you see?
Goblins and other foul folk are working within the ruins. They appear to be preparing for war, building siege engines and stockpiling arms.
Did you see any sign of the one who leads this force?
I saw a tall man, heavily armored. The goblins obeyed his commands. Who he is, I cannot say, but he had an aura of menace, like one tainted by the shadow.
That can only be Agandaur.
You know this man?
He is a servant of the Dark Lord. We must find him and destroy him if we are able.
I will assist you, but it will be perilous. The enemy has positioned war machines upon the inner wall. They limit my ability to fly freely.
If we could gain the top of the wall, we might be able to destroy these machines.
Beyond those doors, you will find a passage and stairs leading up to the wall.
Those machines are certain to be well guarded. We could be walking into a trap.
I will take to the air and draw their fire. If we are fortunate, that will allow you to gain the top of the wall unobserved.
Very well. Let's go.
The wall is clear. Well done. I am free to fly unhindered. But there are others fighting in the city. They may need our help.
Could it be Elrond's sons?
I cannot say. But they move with stealth, and they leave a trail of slain enemies in their wake.
That sounds like Eladan and Elro here on both accounts.
They are likely heading for the Citadel, just as we are.
Then let's push on. Maybe we'll meet up with them.
I will shadow your movements from above. In open ground, I can strike against our foes. Call on me when the need is great.
Beware!
Someone's coming.
Besting a troll in combat. That is no small feat, friends. It would appear that we are on the same side. Perhaps we could be of assistance to each other. Allow us to offer a hand. Andriel, is that you?
Well met, my friends. We were told we might find you here. I am truly glad to see you. Allow me to introduce my companions, Eridan of the Dunedain and Farin of Erebor. I present to you Eladan and Elrohir, the sons of Elrond Half-Elven.
It is a pleasure to make the acquaintance of such skilled and courageous warriors. Was it the three of you then who freed the Great Eagle?
Yes, Belaram is his name.
That was well done. But what brings you to Fornost?
I am here by Aragorn's command. Farin and Andriel have volunteered to aid me.
But why would Aragorn send you to Fornost? Has he learned of the goblin force gathered here?
It's bigger than just a gathering of goblins. We were with the Rangers at Sarn Ford when we were attacked by Black Riders out of Mordor.
That is grim news. But it does not explain why Aragorn would send you here.
The Black Riders are in league with a man called Agendaur. It is he who commands this force.
I begin to understand. Aragorn wishes you to distract Agendaur.
Aye, you've got the right of it.
But now that we have joined forces, we can do more than distract him. Let us cut the head from this serpent of Sauron.
Agreed. But first, we must find him.
He is certain to be in the citadel at the heart of the city. We must attempt to make our way there. No easy task amid these crumbling ruins, and a host of orcs and goblins will seek to bar our way. If we are separated, press on toward the citadel. There we will regroup for our final attack.
Be on your guard. Agendaur wields dark powers. I only hope our combined strength will be enough to overcome him.
Agendaur must be within. Then that is where we must go. The way is barred by a powerful magic ward.
Can you break the spell?
Perhaps, but it will take time and concentration.
You had best get started. We will guard you while you work.
There. The ward has been removed.
Come quickly! The doors are open!
Here we must separate for a time, my friends, for I cannot follow you within those narrow halls.
Will you depart for your home, Belaram?
No, lady. It would be faithless of me to say farewell while friends' lives yet hang in the balance. I will await your return. It may be that I can prevent reinforcements from following you into the tower.
We'd best hurry. The elves are getting ahead of us.
May fortune favor you all.
What is happening out there?
Invaders.
How many?
Not many, but they freed the eagle.
Fools!
Now our presence here will be revealed. Is this the best your rabble can do?
They must be great warriors. Bloody-handed elves, or some of those filthy tarts.
I don't care. Find them and kill them. Call out your guards. Don't let them escape.
Call my guard and be quick about it! Kill the intruders!
Hold on, we'll help you!
No, we must not allow Agendaur time to escape. Go on. We will deal with his guards.
You should have fled Middle-earth with the rest of your cowardly kin, while you still had the chance.
We flee from nothing, least of all you, lackey of Sauron.
Fools! I am the right hand of Sauron. I will see your precious Rivendell burning, and your mongrel father hauled before me in chains.
You will do nothing. Your plots end here.
My work is only just beginning. Do you think you two alone can hope to stop me?
They are not alone. Don't look for your guards. They won't be coming.
Fornos means nothing. You haven't won anything here.
He's escaping!
We cannot hope to follow him now.
But I can! Sorcery of Sauron! This is no natural storm!
I can no longer see him.
It is no use. He has escaped us for now.
Yes, but you cannot be blamed. It was bold of you to go after him alone. Indeed, though perhaps it was not the wisest course.
He summoned a storm. How can a man wield such power?
Sauron is a master of dark sorcery. He has taught these arts to mortals before. It may be that Agendaur learned at the hand of the Dark Lord himself.
It is worse than Agendaur alone. We faced orcs in the ruins below that cast spells against us. Never before have I encountered orcs who use sorcery.
This could mean Agendaur has passed his knowledge on to others. Even to the orcs. That would be a great evil, even for one such as he.
What was that beast he rode upon?
I cannot say. I have never seen nor heard of its like before today.
Nor have I. Perhaps the Dark Lord has bred these creatures as a challenge to my folk. I can only wonder how many of these beasts he has placed at Agendaur's command.
If only we could have finished him. There's no telling what evil he may yet do. But what now? Where do we go from here?
For my part, I would gladly join in the hunt for Agendaur. Yet, I have my duty to consider. I must return home to inform Lord Gwaihir of all I have learned here.
Who is this Gwaihir you speak of?
He is the Lord of the Eagles of the Misty Mountains. I am surprised you do not know his name, for the Dunedain usually know more than other men. Perhaps you know him only as the Lord of Eagles.
Ah, of course. I've heard tales of the Lord of Eagles since I was a young boy.
As his vassal, I am duty-bound to return to him. He must be informed of everything I have learned here.
Your duty to your people must always come first. I'm glad we met, Belleron. and I hope we will meet again one day.
As do I, Eradan of the Dunedain. You and your comrades saved my life. That is something I will not forget. If I can ever be of service to you, I will.
Farewell wherever you fare, Balaram. Till your Eyrie receives you at your journey's end.
My thanks! Commend me to Elrond, your father, and farewell.
As for us, I believe we also have a duty to inform our allies of all we have learned.
It was Halbarad the Ranger that sent us to find Aragorn. He'd be interested in what we've learned, no doubt. We'd best return to him at Sarnford.
Yes, we cannot say what forces still threaten the Shire. The Rangers may have need of us.
Should you find Halbarad has no pressing need of your services, I would urge you to make your way to Imladris. We may have need of your strength and resourcefulness before long.
I do not know this place, Imladris.
Ah, your pardon. You know it better as Rivendell.
What about the orcs and goblins still here at Fornost? Should we not deal with them?
Goblins are only a threat when they have a strong leader to drive them on. With their chieftain slain and Agendar fled, those few who remain in Fornost will soon fall to squabbling among themselves. And we may find more important tasks awaiting us elsewhere.
But what of Aragorn and the hobbit he was seeking? The Black Riders may well be pursuing them. Shouldn't we try to help him?
If Aragorn has found this hobbit, it is certain they will both be bound for Imladris. He is several days ahead of us now. We shall look for him as we go, but Aragorn is resourceful. I suspect he will arrive at Imladris before we do.
I do not know this place, Imladris.
Ah, your pardon. You know it better as Rivendell.
Very well then. Sarnford is our destination. Farewell for now.
I have received word through the Sons of Elrond and the Wandering Companies telling of your valor at Fornost. You are to be commended for your skill and daring.
There are so few rangers left here now, it might be dangerous to remain. What if the Black Riders should return? Perhaps it would be best to retreat.
That would be the wise course if I thought they would return. But I am certain they did not come this far merely to slaughter a small band of Dunedain. No, I will remain here with the few we have left. We cannot hope to fight the enemy, but we still have eyes and ears to gather news of their movements.
Well then, what should we do?
I advise you to make your way to Rivendell. Aragorn will be eager to hear news of Agendar, and he may have other tasks for you to perform. For now, the enemy seems to have turned away from the Shire.
These Black Riders, the Nazgûl, they have come a long way from Mordor. It seems strange they would travel all that way just to invade the Shire. Have you any idea why they would do such a thing?
I do know why they're here, but it is not for me to pass that knowledge on to others. Perhaps Aragorn or Elrond will tell you more when you reach Rivendell.
Travel to Rivendell? Very well, but it is a long journey. We'd best get started.
Perhaps there is something you can do for me on your way.
You have but to name it.
I sent two of my rangers, Kilaran and Luin, on patrol along the Brandywine River. They should have returned long before now. I am growing concerned for them.
They are both seasoned rangers who have served many years in this region. We can be certain they have not simply lost their way.
From which direction would you expect them to come?
They were to follow the Brandywine north as far as the Great East Road, and from there to make their way back by passing through the Barrow Downs.
The Downs are just north of our position here.
Then we'll make our way north by way of the Barrow Downs.
Perhaps we will discover some trace of them as we travel.
You have my thanks. I know your skill as a tracker, Eradan. If Luin and Kilaran made it as far as the Downs, you should be able to pick up their trail. Farewell, and safe travels to you all.
He lives! But the spell of the Barrow lies heavy upon him. Awake now, Dunedain. Come back from the darkness. Awake.
No strength can prevail against this sickness. What good are swords in the face of this plague? What in the name of... Eridan?
Yes, it's me, my friend.
I have been dreaming.
As you awoke, you spoke of a plague. Why was that?
I don't know. It was as if I was someone else. I remember a plague and despair.
The Great Plague. Nearly 300 years ago, it devastated the Dunedain of this region. You were sharing the dreams of those for whom this tomb was made.
Well, let those dreams remain with the dead. I want no more of them.
How did the Borrowites ensnare you within this tomb?
I recall we were making good speed through the downs, eager to return to our friends. But a fog began to rise and it became hard to find our way. We began to hear voices calling to us, as if from far off, or else underground. And then, the dead were all around us. We fought them, but then I felt the presence of something else, something stronger, more evil. I saw a shadowy figure seize hold of Kalaran and he fell senseless. Then it came for me. That is all I remember. But if I was brought living into this tomb, then the same would be true for Kalaran. We need to find him.
That is what we intend to do. Are you strong enough to join us?
Yes, I think I can keep up with you.
Let's go before any more dead things decide to turn up.
It's Kalaran!
It is a hard thing to see a friend slain, and harder still to see his remains desecrated in this manner. At least Kalaran is at rest now, but I'm concerned for your well-being.
First Black Riders, now Barrow-Whites. This is more than men should have to contend with. But where there is life, there is hope. Thanks for your concern, but I will be all right. I owe it to those who have fallen to go on as best I may.
We have gathered many rich treasures from this tomb. You are entitled to a share of them.
Thanks, but it would only serve to remind me of all of this. You keep what you have won.
You have been through a terrible ordeal. Perhaps you should come with us to Rivendell. Or we could take you to Bree. It is not far.
No, I feel my strength returning. I'll soon be myself again. And then I will bear Kalaran's body away from these tainted tombs. He should be buried with the rest of his brothers who fell at Sarn Ford.
That would be fitting. I hope he will rest in peace. Farewell, Luin.
Andriel, welcome home. My sons informed us of your actions at Fornost. Such courage and resolve brings great honor to our household.
I am grateful for what you did at Fornost. If Agendaur's forces had joined in the hunt, there is little chance that I and my charges would have made it here to safety.
I am pleased to have been of service, and more so to see you here alive and well. Although, I remain curious about this halfling you were seeking.
I think it is time we told our newfound friends what they have gotten themselves into.
I believe I have begun to glimpse the truth, yet I would gladly hear your explanation, Mithrandir.
You have more than earned such an explanation. Tell me, what do you know of Isildur's Bane?
Isildur's Bane? That is another name for the Ring of Power.
Quite right. The Ring of Power. The One Ring. The ruling ring. After lying lost and nearly forgotten for centuries, Sauron's ring has once again been found.
Do you mean to say the hobbit Aragorn rescued has come into possession of the Dark Lord's ring?
I see now how close we came to utter ruin. But what is to become of the ring now that it is safe in Imladris?
There is no safe resting place for the ring, not even here in Imladris. It is a danger to all who come near to it. There is only one course left to us. The ring must be destroyed.
To do so, the ring will need to be cast into the same fires from which it was forged. Those of Mount Doom, in the land of Mordor. The hobbit, Frodo Baggins, has agreed to take it there.
You're not going to send a hobbit off to Mordor alone.
No, certainly not. A fellowship will be formed. A fellowship of 9. 9 walkers set against Sauron's 9 black riders. Among this fellowship will be representatives of all the free peoples of the world. Elves, dwarves, and men. Aragorn and I will both be going.
What may we do to assist your fellowship?
The Nazgul and Agandaur are dire threats. We must learn all we can of their movements before the Fellowship is to depart. Scouts will be sent out in every direction to scour the lands around Rivendell. Your aid in this would be of great service to our cause.
Very well. Where should we start?
Agandaur is our chief concern. Although the Nazgul are powerful foes, their mission here in the north is abundantly clear. We can only guess what Agandaur may be planning, or where he went after he escaped from you.
I suspect he may be planning to move against us here. Sauron's hatred of the elves is very great, and he does not forget the hand we played in his defeat during the War of the Last Alliance.
If it is strength he wants, he may well find it among the Ettenmoors.
You know that region better than I. What can you tell me of the Ettenmoors?
The Ettenmoors are a spur of the Misty Mountains, lying almost directly north of Rivendell. It is a wild region of very rugged terrain, home to many trolls and giants.
I myself was in the Ettenmoors but days ago. I saw no sign of Agandaur's presence, but neither did I encounter trolls. That fact alone is troubling. It could be that they are gathering in force, somewhere among the moors.
We will travel to the Ettenmoors. If the enemy is active there, we will know of it.
From what I have heard of you, from Aragorn and Elrond's sons, I expected no less. Still, you have had a long road and hard fighting to get this far. Take what time you need to rest and recover before you set out. The Ettenmoors are a dangerous place for the unprepared.
The hospitality of my house is yours, for as long as you wish. Andriel, I am glad you are here. I hoped I would have the opportunity to speak with you privately before you left for the Ettenmoors. I wish to tell you how proud I am of what you accomplished at Fornost. You have brought great honor to our household. Indeed, all of Imladris is singing your praises. But I do not believe you have come merely to hear my thanks. Do you have questions for me?
I discovered this scroll at Fornost. It is tainted with evil, yet I thought it best you should see it.
A wise decision. This is writ in the black speech of Mordor, a language I will not utter here. It is intended to instruct the reader in the use of dark sorceries.
As repellent as these powers may be, could we not gain some advantage by making use of them ourselves?
Consider carefully what you are saying, Andriel. Have I not taught you why such a course would be the path of folly? This, like all works of the enemy, is altogether evil. Any who make use of this, even from a desire to do good, will only be corrupted by it. Surely the ring has taught us that much.
What can you tell me of the Black Speech?
A language devised by Sauron when he desired a single tongue to be spoken by all who serve him. He had small luck introducing it to the scattered tribes of orcs and trolls, but it is still used by his highest-ranking servants.
Then it is good we captured this from the enemy before it could cause further harm. What will become of it?
I will destroy this scroll at the very least. But wait, here I discover more. Listen to what is written herein. Scribed by the hand of Agandaur, disciple of the great Lord Sauron, for the empowerment of his servant Wulfrun and those others of his faithful who prove worthy. I will speak no more of these blasphemies, but it does say that this scroll is one of 7 such works.
As repellent as these powers may be, could we not gain some advantage by making use of them ourselves?
Consider carefully what you are saying, Andriel. Have I not taught you why such a course would be the path of folly? This, like all works of the enemy, is altogether evil.
What can you tell me of the Black Speech?
A language devised by
We encountered orcs at Fornost who used spells against us.
Then it seems this has already been put to use. That is grim news. The Dark Lord is a master of necromancy and other foul sorceries. He has taught these abominations to men in the past, but never, to my knowledge, to orcs.
This is indeed a very grave threat. We cannot allow such an evil to spread. What is to be done?
I will destroy this scroll, at the very least. But wait, here I discover more. Listen to what is written herein. Scribed by the hand of Agandaur, disciple of the great Lord Sauron, for the empowerment of his servant Wulfrun and those others of his faithful who prove worthy. I will speak no more of these blasphemies, but it does say that this scroll is one of 7 such works.
Seven at one time, perhaps. But Agandaur may well have created many more such scrolls since this writing.
Perhaps. But creating something of this nature is not a matter of... We have reason to hope there are no more than 7.
So 6 more remain. Perhaps we might capture them as well.
That would be a great service to our cause. Should you recover them all, bring them to me, and I will ensure they are destroyed.
Would it not be better to destroy any I find immediately?
You will find that works of this sort are not so easily destroyed. There are strong wards placed upon them that protect them from mundane harm. But I have the necessary skill to remove these wards. Should you gather the remaining scrolls, bring them to me, and I will see them destroyed.
I will be certain to do so.
In the meantime, please accept this in appreciation for bringing this matter to my attention. Perhaps it will be of service to you in your travels.
There is something else. I discovered this tome hidden amid the ruins of Fornost.
Ah, now this is writing of an altogether more wholesome sort. This was not made by any minion of Sauron, but rather by the men of Arthedain, likely before the fall of Fornost.
It appears to use the Elvish characters as was common with those folk, but I can make little of it at a quick glance. Perhaps you can discover more.
Indeed. It seems to be a personal journal. And here is a name inscribed. M-A-L. Why, this appears to be a work of Malbeth, the seer of Arthedain.
Malbeth? Was he not a visionary of some sort?
Many of the Dunedain race are gifted with foresight, but none more than Malbeth. He predicted the final destruction of the kingdom of Arthedain, which befell exactly as he had foretold. I will examine this work carefully. Who knows what other visions are here recorded? It may be that we will find something of value to us in this time of trouble. You did well in bringing this to me. Take this in way of thanks.
I am pleased to have been of service. Thank you and farewell.
Greetings, my friends. I could scarce believe what I saw from above. But elf, dwarf, and man battling the enemy together, such things are not often seen. I knew it had to be you.
Is that you, Balaram? I never thought we'd meet again so soon.
Nor did I. It does seem a strange coincidence, but a happy one, nonetheless.
I was told the Ettenmoors were dangerous, but we have encountered more enemies than I expected. Is there something transpiring that we should know of?
Indeed there is. The orcs and trolls of the Ettenmoors are gathering to follow in the wake of Bagrisar, a corrupt stone giant. The foul folk respect his strength, and they will follow him for plunder and the chance to do evil. The giant must be stopped before he can bring this army to bear against our friends and allies.
I was not aware the great eagles dwelt here in the Ettenmoors.
No, we keep our areas atop the high peaks of the nearby Misty Mountains. We have come to the Ettenmoors in pursuit of Bagrisar.
Perhaps there are other giants in league with Bagrisar.
I do not believe so, for we have learned Bagrisar is an outcast among his own kind. They disowned him for past crimes, and will offer him no protection from our vengeance.
We will not leave our allies to face this enemy alone. Let us join with you in the hunt for Bagrisar.
Your aid would be most welcome. Together we may be able to best him. Every hour he lives, his following grows greater. Let us press on!
Ambush!
It is finished! My people are avenged.
And behold, here come your kin.
My lord.
It would appear that you have done our work for us, Belaram.
Not I, Lord Gwaihir. Your thanks belong to these three. Andriel, Farin, and Aradan. It is they who rid us of Bagrisar.
The same three that saved you at Fornost.
Indeed. A remarkable chance that we should meet again.
If chance it was. Your fates seem strangely intertwined. But be that as it may, we are doubly grateful to you. First for saving the life of Belaram, and now for slaying the giant.
We are glad your fallen kin have been avenged. Bagrisar was a threat to all free folk. It is only fitting we should join together to destroy him.
Well spoken. But I wonder what purpose you had for coming to the Ettenmoors. This is no place for idle wandering.
My master, Elrond Half-Elven, suspected the enemy might be gathering here. It was he who sent us to investigate.
He also thought we might find a servant of the enemy here. A man by the name of Agendaur.
Belaram has told us of that one, but I fear you have come too late. We have searched the Ettenmoors thoroughly in our hunt for Bagrisar, yet we have seen no sign of this servant of the Dark Lord. If he was here, we can be reasonably certain he is here no longer. My people will work to disperse the enemy forces that remain in the moors. We will be on guard against the return of Agendaur.
Then we'd best head back to Rivendell. Elrond will be wondering about us. We've already been gone too long.
I will arrange for a messenger.
My lord, I owe my life to these three. And I too believe Agendaur to be a grave threat to the free peoples of the North. Eagles no less so than any other. If you would grant me leave, I wish to accompany them and aid them in their quest.
You ask a great deal, Belaram. I may have need for all my followers soon. Yet I perceive a great destiny awaits these three, and it seems you are now part of it. Very well. I will grant you permission to join with them for as long as you see fit.
Unless Belaram plans to carry his friends like sheep in his talons, he will need help. If it pleases you, my lord, I will gladly accompany them as well.
I too have a stake in this quest. Let me be the third.
So be it. 3 who cleave the air to match 3 who walk the earth. May fortune favor you all. Armanel, Baranthor, you shall be at Balaram's command. Obey his word until such time as you return to us. Now I must depart. Many forces are at work across Middle-earth, and many events take shape. I must consider what part the Eagles will play in them.
We are most grateful for your aid and trust, Lord Gwaihir. Farewell.
You return at last. We grew concerned for you. I fear you have missed your chance to say farewell to the members of the Fellowship, for they have departed. Clearly you found danger in the Ettenmoors, yet you have returned safely, and in the company of 3 of the Great Eagles, no less. There is a story behind this, and I am eager to hear it.
We found trolls and orcs preparing for war, just as we feared, and they were led by a renegade stone giant.
He had made attacks against Gwaihir's people.
But with the Eagle Balaram's help, we managed to put an end to him.
That was well done, but this is troubling. Why would a stone giant act in this manner? They have never been hostile to free folk before.
We found these tokens on some of the slain.
Some of them bear the Black Raven emblem of Agandaur.
Then we can be certain he is behind the giant's descent into evil. But there are also other tokens here I recognize. These are the marks of the orcs of Mount Gundabad, far to the north.
Could it be that Agandaur is there, at Gundabad?
It may well be. From Mount Gundabad, the orcs have many tunnels and secret pathways connecting the hidden mines and orc holds of the Misty Mountains. The orcs can move along those routes in great numbers without being seen. If Agandaur is raising an army to fight for his master in the north, it is certain he will have traveled to Gundabad. The evidence you have uncovered confirms this to be so, yet we have no way of knowing if he is there still.
Maybe not, but it's not like we have many more choices, other than to sit waiting for Agandaur to strike first.
To walk into such an orc-infested pit as Mount Gundabad would seem like folly, but you have proven your skill and daring many times over. And too, you have the Eagles to aid you. It may be that you will find a way to take the enemy by surprise. It is certain that, were you to destroy Agandaur, you would cut the heart from Sauron's plan to make war in the north.
What can you tell us of Mount Gundabad?
It is a great peak that stands far to the north, at the meeting point of the Misty Mountains and the Grey Mountains. Once, Gundabad was a delving of the dwarves, but it was abandoned long ago. It has since become a stronghold of the orcs. It would be hard-pressed to find a more dangerous location in all the north.
But what of Frodo and his quest? Is there nothing more we can do to assist him?
That die is cast. We must abide the consequences, for good or ill. There is nothing more we here can do but to look to our own defense.
How will you prepare?
We will continue to plan for the defense of Imladris. The enemy will not find us unprepared. I will send warnings to such allies as we have. There is strength to be found in Imladris still, but in truth, you 3 may be our best hope.
Then we shall not fail. We travel to Mount Gundabad.
Your courage is commendable, but be certain you are well prepared. Mount Gundabad will not be forgiving of the unwary. Farewell, and may the stars shine upon your path. Is there something I can help you with, Andriel?
Can you tell me more about Mount Gund?
I fear there is little I can However, it is a pity Durin's...
If the dwarves took Gundabad, it may be that Farin can tell us more about the place.
He will have no first-hand knowledge, for he is too young to have fought in that war. Still, he will not easily become bewildered underground, and it may be his dwarven lore will reveal secrets that even the orcs have not discovered.
Tell me more of this war between the orcs and dwarves.
It began over 200 years ago, when the exiled dwarf king Thror attempted to return to his ancestral home of Moria, only to be slain by the orc king Aesog. To be avenged, the dwarves gathered from their scattered realms and waged a 9-year war against the orcs of the Misty Mountains. Both sides fought without mercy, but the ferocity and matchless weapons of the dwarves gave them the advantage. Aesog was slain by Dane Ironfoot, who is now king of Erebor. Yet the victory was hard won, and many dwarves perished before it was achieved.
If Gundabad belonged to the dwarves, why didn't they stay once it was recaptured?
That is a question for dwarves, though few yet live who fought in that war. I suspect with the losses they suffered in the war, they believed themselves too few to hold Gundabad for long. Or it might simply be that after being in the possession of the orcs for so long, those halls were deemed no longer fit to occupy.
Mount Gundabad awaits us. Farewell, Master Elrond.
Andriel, I thought I might see you ere long. Imladris is filled with tales of your exploits. I believe Lindir has even begun a song about them. But while battles can build a heroic reputation, they also break down equipment. You have need of my services.
What task is before you now, Engmir?
My fellow smiths and I have recently completed a great work. The reforging of the legendary sword Narsil. It was a demanding and exhausting task, but I dare say we created something worthy of a king. Now that it is complete, I've turned to work of a different sort. I'm amusing myself by practicing the art of imbuing gemstones.
By imbuing, you mean the process of binding powers and virtues to an object?
Yes, clearly you have a good understanding of this art. As you know, gemstones are very strong vessels for this process. Sadly, appropriate gemstones have become difficult to find. The growing trouble throughout the land keeps travelers away, and our own people are staying closer to home.
I hope we reach our destination soon, or this weather may prove more deadly than the orcs.
Take heart. We are nearly there, and this snowfall will hide us from the eyes of the enemy below.
Balaram, look! Above the mountain!
Set us down. We can attempt to find a way into the mountain under the cover of this storm.
There is little chance of that, with those creatures keeping watch from above. Once we land you, my comrades and I will draw off the beasts.
What are they doing? Studying the ground?
There must be something wrong.
Look, there's a door.
Someone was here before us. There was a fight here very recently.
The bodies. They're dwarves.
This one lives still.
Well then, come on, you scum. Finish it! You're not orcs.
Why are you here? What were you attempting?
We seek a weapon. We must find it, use it, stop the orcs.
What is this weapon? Where can it be found?
Dwarf weapon. In the stone. Nordri has the key. Find them. Help them. Please. Save Nordenbart.
Where are your friends?
Went on. Can't say where. Now. Find them. They need help.
Who or what is Nordenbart?
It's too late. He's dead.
But it sounds like there may be more like him around here somewhere.
Yes, and they are searching for a weapon of some sort. Come, let us find them.
This is it! Quick, lad! Up you go!
Nordri! Nordri, there are too many orcs. We'll never hold them long enough.
Maybe not, but we can try. Well then, come on, you filth! Baruch Kazor!
I don't know what brings you to a place like this, but I'm mighty glad to see you all the same.
We might say exactly the same. What are you doing here?
We've come to activate an ancient weapon.
With luck, it'll kill a lot of orcs.
What sort of weapon?
You'll see.
Once activated, it'll take some time to do its work.
Aye, and it's sure to bring a lot more orcs down on us too.
No time for dilly-dallying. Go ahead and use it.
We'll hold off the orcs.
A horn call? Are you mad? You're calling them here!
I did warn you about that.
The whole mountain is coming down!
Aye, a good deal of it anyway. Just as we hoped.
You knew this was going to happen?
It's what we came here for.
We had to strike this blow if our people are to survive. I'm heartily sorry for getting all of you killed as well.
I don't think we need to worry about death just yet. Look!
Durin's beard!
Well, this is a day I'll not soon forget. I've seen a few things in my time, but I've not flown on an eagle's back till today. Well, now that it's a bit easier to talk, let me thank you properly for saving our lives and bid you welcome to Nordenbad, our home. Nordri's father, the Lord Gorin, will want to speak with you. Nordri's gone ahead to report on the Gundabad raid and to tell him about everything you did for us.
Why did you need your warriors against Mount Gundabad?
We keep a careful watch on the orcs of the mountains. when we saw them gathering in large numbers at Gundabad, we had reason to believe they were preparing to move against us here. We didn't like our chances against that many orcs, but we knew about the hidden weapon at Gundabad, so Nordri and I led a small force there to use it against them.
Seemingly there was no returning from such a mission, yet you undertook the task willingly.
Aye, every dwarf was a volunteer and knew he wouldn't be coming back.
But you said Nordri is Gorin's son. He allowed his heir to undertake such a mission?
He didn't have a choice. After a lifetime of lecturing the lad about his duty to his people, there was no way Gorin could say no when Nordri volunteered, much as he'd have liked to.
What can you tell us of the device you used to collapse the ceiling at Gundabad? In all my long years of study, I have heard of nothing like it.
It was an ancient defense made by the dwarves who delved Gundabad long ago. Nobody understood the qualities of stone better than the dwarves of old, and they knew that just the right sound can cause solid stone to split. They used that knowledge to build a defense against any enemy who might force their way past the gates of their home.
But Mount Gundabad has been an orc hold for centuries. How did you know about this weapon?
Aye, it's been in the hands of the orcs for many a year, but not straight through. I was only a lad when my people fought a great war against the orcs, but my father helped sack Gundabad. He was one of the stoneworkers who found the weapon. It made a big impression on him, and he told me the tale so many times I was sure I could find the thing and use it against the orcs.
But how could you be certain it would still work after all those centuries?
We didn't. The whole thing was a gamble. Luckily it paid off.
Do you think the orcs will pursue us?
Escaping on eagles like we did will throw them off the trail a bit, but it won't be long before they realize it was a group of dwarves that hit them first, and that'll get them thinking about us here. It's not like they're not thinking about Nordman anyway, but I'll let Gorin tell you more about that.
We are pleased to be made welcome here, but in the rush of battle and our hurried escape, I fear we missed your name.
Oh, confound me for an old fool. Bruni, son of Bane, at your service and your families. I'm captain of the Nordenbad Guard and a servant of Lord Gorin.
We would be pleased to speak with Lord Gorin.
Just make your way past the doors you see yonder and you'll find him within. The guards have been instructed to let you pass.
Here, sire, those I spoke of. Allow me to present a kinsman, Farin of Erebor, and also Andriel and Eridan, his companions. We succeeded in our task, and I live to tell of it, thanks only to their aid.
You are most welcome here, kinsman, and no less so your companions, be they man, elf, or eagle. Welcome all to Nordenbad, last hall of the Longbeards in the Grey Mountains. You have returned to me, my son and my oldest friend, whom already I mourned as lost. For this, you will forever have my gratitude and the hospitality of these halls. Know that this is not something lightly given, for never before have we allowed any but our own folk to pass these gates. And no eyes have gazed upon the hidden lake of Azanzaram, save those of our close kindred. Yet for what you have done, I will gladly lay aside our ancient oath of secrecy.
You are Longbeards? Then you are of Durin's folk, and close kin to Farin.
Aye. In centuries past, most of our kin called these mountains home. But then the dragons came from the far north. One by one, our halls were lost or abandoned. All but Nordenbad. We alone endured those dark times. And thanks to you, we may hope to endure our current troubles as well.
What can you tell me of your home?
My great-great-grandsire was the first to enter the caves of this mountain, where he discovered the hidden lake we call Azanzaram. He was awed by its beauty, and led some of his kin here. Slowly, over many long years, with loving hands and careful chisels, we created the halls you see before you. Nordenbad was never rich in gold or jewels, but its beauty would move even the most cold-hearted dwarf. That is why we have remained here for so long. There is not a dwarf among us who would not choose death over exile from our home.
The lake is indeed lovely. Did your kin create it?
Nay, my ancestors discovered Azanzaram even as you see it. We have worked with care to enhance what we found. A chip here, a tap there, fashioning bridges, halls, and tunnels. But always, we have taken care to preserve the great gift we were given.
It is beautiful, and I am honored to behold it.
May I ask how it was you happened to be in so unlikely a place as Mount Gundabad? One does not go lightly into so foul a pit.
We were hunting a black-hearted servant of the enemy. He goes by the name of Agendaur.
Agendaur. We are familiar with that one. Curse his Blackheart.
He appeared before our gates some weeks past, and called us to parley, in the name of Sauron the Great, so he said.
A parley? For what purpose?
He demanded that we yield ourselves up to the mercy of Sauron, as if there was any mercy in the Dark Lord.
He lays claim to Nordenbad, telling us if we turn over our halls and riches without a fight, our lives will be spared, and we will be free to seek a new home elsewhere.
Of course, we would have nothing of that. When we defied him, he grew wrathful, threatening us with the fiery doom that overtook our ancestors.
What could he want with Nordenbad? Please pardon me, Lord Gorin, but these halls are very remote. Is it wealth he seeks?
Nay. Nordenbad provides for our needs, but never have we considered it rich, save in beauty.
I fear he may have allied himself with the dragon Orgast, who dwells in these parts. With such a beast at his command, we would have little hope of resisting him.
Then would it not be best to destroy this dragon before it can be used as a weapon?
Huh. Destroy Orgast? If only it were that simple. The attack on Gundabad would be a peaceful stroll around the lake in comparison. Nay, if it were so easy to slay dragons, there would be many more dwarves still dwelling in these mountains.
Urgost has never taken notice of us before. We rather hoped it would stay that way.
They say it does not pay to leave a live dragon out of your calculations, if you live near one.
We can't let Agendaur have such a beast under his command.
Even Imladris would be no haven against dragonfire. Where will we find Urgost?
You do not lack for courage, I will grant you. Yet we know not where the dragon dwells. No dwarf has discovered his lair and lived to tell of it.
Perhaps Radagast knows this secret, or can discover it. Seems there is little that happens in Wilderland that escapes his notice.
You speak of Radagast the Brown, one of the Astari, the Order of Wizards.
So you know him, do you?
We have never met, yet often I have heard him spoken of. He is said to be skilled in the lore of all herbs and beasts, especially birds. Do you know where he may be found?
He dwells within the forest of Mirkwood, away to the south. Perhaps your companion Belaram would know where to find him, for it is said that Radagast is a friend to the Lord of Eagles himself.
We should travel to Mirkwood. If Radagast knows as much as you say, it is certain to be worthwhile.
Indeed. But before you set out, please accept a token of our gratitude. Seek out my steward Galar. I have instructed him to open our vaults to you. I believe you may find something within that will be of service in the days ahead.
I still can't believe I'm alive. I thought I would draw my last breath in the fetid air of Mount Gundabad. Mind you, I'm not complaining.
Tell me of your father, Gorin. Is he a king?
King? Oh, no. He is merely the Lord of Nordenbad. We acknowledge Dane Ironfoot as the rightful king of the Longbeards. Not that he has any idea of our existence.
Someday you may be Lord of Nordenbad. Will you seek a reunion with your sundered kin when that day comes?
Secrecy has always preserved us here before, but it can't do so for much longer. We are a dwindling folk, and this war has only made that worse. Nordenbad is precious, but I see little point in leaving it empty. If we survive the days ahead, we will seek out our kin. My father sees the need for this as well. Were it not so, I wouldn't have dared bring you and your friends to our hidden halls.
It sounds as if you have traveled in Mirkwood before.
I've been around it a lot more than in it, and that suits me just fine. I don't care for that wood. Don't know how anyone could. But I've often traveled to the eaves of the forest to trade with the Bjornings who live thereabout. It was on such a trading venture that I happened to meet Radagast.
What will you and your people do now?
I'm afraid we're all out of tricks to play. All we can do is prepare our defenses, hunker down and wait for whatever the winds of war might blow our way.
I wish you good fortune, whatever may befall. Farewell, Mordry.
Mirkwood is a place I prefer to fly over, not into, but we are ready to go.
We must hope Radagast can tell us where to find Urgost. Have you ever faced a dragon before?
No. That is a risk I have gladly avoided. One does not willingly seek out a dragon, unless there is no choice.
Do you fear dragons?
Only a fool would not fear a dragon. If Urgost has survived this long, he must be full of the guile and cunning of his kind, abominations that they are. And this will make him even more dangerous. But that changes nothing. If we must prevent his alliance with Agandar, then fear must be set aside and the dragon found. We should follow Gorin's advice and seek Urgost's whereabouts from Radagast.
I thought it a rare thing that you offered your aid to us, and hardly expected 2 more eagles to do the same. What can you tell me of them?
Armanel is a seasoned warrior. He knows full well what he faces, and accepts it gladly. Baron Thor is young, and eager to prove himself. But he has deep courage, and few can match his swiftness on the wing. But you need not take my word. Ask them yourself. They will gladly speak with you if you so desire.
What if it is too late to stop Agandar? I may be needed more urgently in Imladris if he should strike before we can find him.
There is great power in Imladris, enough to withstand this threat for a time. If you remained, you would be but one of many in a larger fight with little hope at the end. For even Imladris must fall if Urgost joins with the enemy. Trust in the wisdom of Elrond. He has set you a task that he believes you can achieve. Together, we will do what must be done to bring down Agandar. Only then will your home and our areas be safe.
You speak wisely, Belleron. Forgive my doubts. Whatever end awaits us, we will meet it together.
You have but to say the word, and we will press on.
Do you know Radagast well?
The Brown Wizard has been a close friend of the Eagles since he first came to Middle-earth and settled into the forest that is now called Mirkwood, even before it came to have that dark name. That was long before I was born, but I have visited with him many times in his home at Rosgobel when I would bring him news from afar. But I have not seen him since he abandoned Rosgobel.
Radagast lived there for centuries. Why would he abandon it?
He was gone from his home before I could ask. But there has been a growing threat and darkness in the south of Mirkwood. I believe Rosgobel is no longer safe, even for a wizard. But fear not. I know Radagast's favored places in the north of Mirkwood. We will find him, or I will bring you to a place you are likely to find him at the very least.
Then we must travel to Mirkwood.
We will be ready.
Seeking the wizard. No one can help him now. And no one can help you.
Well done, my friends. that one will spread his veil of lies no more. Yet I fear this was no chance meeting. If Wulfrun was here, it could mean trouble for Radagast. You should press on and find him.
How far are we from the wizard's dwelling?
It is difficult to say for certain. Even the eyes of an eagle cannot pierce the interwoven boughs of Mirkwood, and clearings are few in this wood.
We will continue the search on foot. Should we look for you here once we have found him?
No, I must find my companions. They are probably worried about me. Together, we will keep watch from above. Radagast has many friends among the birds of Mirkwood. If you find him, he can send a message to us easily enough.
The sorcerer said something about a wizard.
He must have meant Radagast.
But why would Agandaur send his minions after Radagast?
The brown wizard concerns himself little with the outside world. Yet he has worked against Sauron in the past. Perhaps Agandaur merely wishes to settle an old score, but it seems more likely he seeks to prevent Radagast from aiding his enemies. We should find him.
What manner of creature is this you have defeated? What a foul stench it has!
Who can say? Some beast from an older world, maybe. Bred and twisted by the Dark Lord to serve his most trusted servants.
The sorcerer said something about a wizard.
He must have meant Radagast.
But why would Agandaur send his minions after Radagast?
The brown wizard concerns himself little with the outside world. Yet he has worked against Sauron in the past. Perhaps Agandaur merely wishes to settle...
Never have I seen a wood so dense and forbidding. What can we expect to find here?
I cannot say for certain. Mirkwood is no place for my kind. We can soar over the great wood, but its secrets remain hidden beneath the trees. The forest has an evil reputation, however. Be on your guard as you search for Radagast.
How far are we from the wizard's dwelling?
It is difficult to say for certain.
We will find him, but what about you? Are you hurt?
The beast did its damage, but not enough to keep me from the air. I will be fully recovered soon enough.
We will continue the search on foot. Should we look for you here once we have found him?
No, I must find my companions. They are
Very well, but be careful. There may be more of these fell beasts about. Look, there!
Lord!
Must be Radagast's home.
It looks peaceful enough.
Then what did the sorcerer mean when he said we were too late?
Perhaps he was only trying to discourage us. The trail leads down there. I'm sure of it.
The wizard!
The wizard? No, no, my dears. That is food. He says the wizard must die. Take him and devour him, he commands. And so I shall. But not yet. Not yet. Let him hang a bit first. Let him await My pleasure. But the wizard alone is barely a meal for one such as myself. Now war is a feast.
Carefully. Let him down slowly now.
He yet lives.
Aye, and he's coming around.
Radagast, are you well?
Oh, what a thoroughly unpleasant experience. I shall have more pity for flies in the future.
How did you come to be in this bind?
Sinatra snatched me. Took me unawares, I'm afraid. I really didn't expect to encounter anything of her sort in this corner of the wood. No, not at all. You see, I came here to get away from trouble. Darkness is spreading across Mirkwood. A darker than usual darkness, I mean. And it's coming from Dol Guldur in the south. Roscobel, my usual home, lies a little too close to Dol Guldur for comfort. So I came here. I have several such retreats. You can never be too prepared, living in Mirkwood and all. But, do I know you?
No, Radagast, but you do know me.
Ah, young Bellerum. It's a pleasure to see you. So you are a part of this little party too? It's quite a mixed bag, really. I don't see elves, dwarves, and men rubbing elbows often, especially not in Mirkwood. Now add an eagle as well. This is turning out to be a rather extraordinary day, really, all things considered.
I am just glad we came in time. My friends and I have a mission, and we came seeking your aid.
We must find the dragon Urgost, who dwells in the Grey Mountains.
But we don't have a lot of time to spend looking.
We were told you might be able to help us find him.
You wish to find a dragon? Oh dear, is that really wise?
Wise or not, that is our mission. Do you know where the dragon dwells?
Well, he's a dragon, so I would say the Grey Mountains.
Yes, that we know. But do you know where in the Grey Mountains?
I haven't the foggiest notion, really.
It seems we were misinformed.
Ah, now, not so fast. I may not know where Urgost dwells, but I just might be able to find out. But I would need my staff for that, and I seem to have mislaid it somewhere.
There was a powerful force here, and it is clear that you were their target. Why does the enemy hunt you?
The enemy never needs a reason to kill and destroy. But if I were to hazard a guess why they were after me in particular, I would say it is because of my talent for gathering and sending news quickly.
That could mean they are planning attacks against our nearby allies.
That's bad news for the Bjornings and the Wood Elves. Maybe we should try to warn them.
Oh, you needn't concern yourself with that. As I said, I have a talent for such things. I will make sure our friends are warned. It's the neighborly thing to do, after all.
Dol Guldur was a stronghold of the enemy in the past. What can you tell me of it?
It's a terrible place. A fortress built upon a bare hill in the south of the forest. Of old, the Dark Lord himself dwelt there. He was driven out some years past, but it seems that evil has returned once more to Dol Guldur. I am told that fell creatures of many sorts are gathering there.
We found your staff and brought it along with us. I knew you would have need of it once we found you.
Ah, excellent. Aren't you the clever one? Crafty as a fox in your own fashion, too, I can tell. I'm grateful to you. Well then, let's see what we can find out, shall we? My friends might know a thing or two. have news for me, little one? Ah. I see, yes. Oh, yes, indeed. Very brave of you. Well done, my friend. And there you have it.
Perhaps you could explain further for those of us who do not speak the language of swallows.
Oh, you don't? Quite a pity, really. They're rather pleasant little fellows. Always something nice to say.
Well, what did this one have to say?
Quite a bit, actually. Here, let me show you.
Have you considered my offer?
You bargain with what you do not possess, man of the South.
I will have your price soon enough. Think carefully before you spurn this offer, dragon. As mighty as you are, you would do well not to offend my master.
I did not say I refused. Only that you must first achieve my reward before you can give it.
Ah, formality. I go now to take your price, but I will leave men behind to await your answer. Consider well, but not too long.
My time and my thoughts are my own to spend.
For now.
We are very close to the dragon's lair, and must now go more cautiously. If Orgost was to catch us airborne, he might lay us low with a single blast of dragon fire. It is best you proceed on foot, while we shadow you from above.
I see the ruins of mighty works in the surrounding cliffs. Who delved these halls?
I can answer that. What you see are all that remains of the mansions of my kin, the Longbeards. Once, there was a mighty host of dwarves living in these mountains, before the dragons came from the northern wastes to plunder our homes. Ah, to have seen these realms in the days of their glory. Seems we're always fated to lose the fruits of our labor.
You believe Urgos to be a fire drake?
Even if he proves to be one of the fireless cold drakes, he will still be a terrible foe. Yet I fear we will find Orgost is no cold drake.
Do you believe Urgost will be on guard against intruders?
I hope it is not so. But the keen senses of dragons are legendary. I fear he will see, hear, or smell us long before we can come to grips with him. Still, if Agendar's minions are hereabouts, it may be that their presence will mask our own.
Then let us delay no longer. Onward, as swiftly as we may.
I told your master he would have his answer in my own good time. You are not what I expected. An elf. It has been many long years since I last smelled one of your kind. Perhaps you wish to tell me why you are here.
I am Andriel of Imlodris, and my companions and I have come to put an end to your evil.
You are bold, elf. I will grant you that. But are you really in any position to threaten me? I think not.
Even if we cannot prevail, we shall fight to the end.
I believe you would. Hmm.
Agendaur.
Perhaps we do serve him. What concern of yours is that?
Many men follow the Dark Lord's banner. Dwarves, maybe, but an elf, never. Clearly you are his enemy. Perhaps we can make a deal.
A deal? What do you have in mind?
Agendaur wishes me to join him in his conquest of the North. As a reward, he offers the realm of Nordenbard and all the wealth found there.
You tell us nothing we did not already know. Agendaur and his proposal is what brought us here.
So, in spite of your brashness and bravado, I see you are not without a measure of resourcefulness. I do not know how you could have learned of Agendaur's offer, but it does not matter. Since you are so knowledgeable, perhaps you are also aware that I have no interest in Nordenbard. What is that dwarf-infested bit to one such as I? No, I have my eyes set on a far greater prize. I want the ancient fortress of the Witch King himself, Khan'dûm.
And what do you know of Khan'dûm?
It sits atop the northernmost peaks of the Misty Mountains. Of old, it was the capital of the realm of Angmar, the mighty fortress of the Witch King himself.
And why would you desire such a place?
The Grey Mountains are no longer a suitable home for one of my might and majesty. The oft-plundered homes of the dwarves who once dwelt here hold neither the wealth nor the grandeur I desire. Not even that watery hole, Nordenbard. No, I would be lord of loftier halls and master of the hidden vaults of the Witch King as well.
The Witch King was driven from Khan'dûm long ago by my people and the men of Gondor. If you want his fortress, what prevents you from taking it?
Agendaur. He has taken control of Khan'dûm. From there, he plans his conquest of the North.
Since you are so mighty, why do you not take Khan'dûm from Agendaur yourself? Can it be that you fear him?
Do not try my patience, elf. I fear no man. But Agendaur is a servant of Sauron, and I have no wish to make an enemy of the Dark Lord. You, on the other hand, have already done so. If you would see me remain neutral in this war, destroy Agendaur and turn over Khan'dûm to me.
Very well, Dragon. Since Agendaur is the greater of two evils, we will accept your offer. Remain neutral, and Khan'dûm will be yours.
A wise choice. See that you don't disappoint me. And if you are truly concerned with the fate of Nordenbard, you might wish to return. Agendaur is moving against it even as we speak.
They will need our aid. We must hurry.
Oh yes, by all means, hurry.
I wonder indeed what transpired within that cave. But if our friends are in danger, then questions must wait. I will call Armanel and Baranthor, and we will depart at once.
They're massing for another attack. I don't think we can hold off another one.
No, nor do I.
Have I gone mad, or... No, look! It's them, by thunder! Our eagle riding thing! They've come back! Do you see, Fruity? They... Mighty glad I am to see you, but it may already be too late. I've only a handful left who can still fight.
Then fall back to the upper chambers.
Give us what support you can from there.
And we will see what we can do against their siege machines.
What?
Your place is with your people, Nordri.
Go! Luck to you all. Fall back! Back to the upper galleries! Fall back! Here they come!
They send trolls against the gate!
Come! We will drive them back! Berenthor, to the gate!
Beware! Beware!
Andriel, Farron, the gate!
Belleron!
Tell me he's not gone.
No, he lives. But he is sorely hurt.
Can he be saved?
I believe so, but his wounds are severe. He will need time and constant care if he is to recover.
You'll have that. The best that we can give, I promise you. I'll take charge here. Go to my father and tell him what's happened. He'll send dwarves to help with Belleron.
Orin yet lives? That's some good news, at least.
He was wounded in the fighting, but he's still on his feet. Hurry inside now and speak to him.
Nordenbad are in your debt. Without your aid, we would not have held them. The enemy is defeated, but at very great cost.
The valiant Belleron lies gravely injured. We must have your aid.
I have already ordered my people to bear him into the hall. He will have the best care we can give, for it is certain we owe him our lives. But what of Urgast? You set out to deal with the dragon. Did you find him?
We dealt with the dragon all right, but not the way I'd have liked. We found out Agendaur had promised him Nordenbad.
But we offered to give him Agendaur's stronghold, the fortress of Carn-Dûm.
Carn-Dûm? The ancient fortress of the Witch King of Angmar? Yes. We should have known Agendaur would reoccupy that accursed place. If Urgast desires that black pit, he is welcome to it. But Agendaur will need to be dealt with first.
Yes, and that is why our path must now lead to Carn-Dûm.
Such a trek will be long and difficult, and the loss of the eagles means you will need to go on foot.
So be it then. For the sake of all free folk, Agendaur must die.
I can spare no warriors to send with you. The strength of Nordenbad is all but spent. Yet it would please me if you would take these. They are heirlooms of my house, the greatest works of my people passed down through long generations. Parting with them would be hard, but your fight is our fight, and so I give them freely. Choose what you will, and may it help avenge the fallen. We would be honored if you would accept a token of our gratitude. Find my steward Galar. I have instructed him to present you with some of our finest work. Choose whatever you will, and may it serve you well.
You are Longbeards? Then you are of Durin's folk, and close kin to Farron.
Aye. In centuries past, most of our kin called these mountains home. But then the dragons came from the far north. One by one, our halls were lost or abandoned.
I thank you for your generosity, Lord Gorin.
Most noble elf, we're in your debt.
I hear the three of you drove the orcs and foul men from our steppes. May your name be enshrined in the songs of your people and mine forever.
I should be off. Goodbye.
We would be honored if you would accept a token of our gratitude. Find my steward Galar. I have instructed him to present you with some of our finest work. Choose whatever you will, and may it serve you well.
I shall. Farewell, Lord Gorin. Bellerom? Can you hear me, my friend?
Andriel, I am within walls of stone, and hear no sounds of battle. The Nordenbad was saved.
Yes, they have withdrawn with heavy losses.
How long have I been here like this?
Not long. You rest easy now. You've had a hard time of it.
Where are Berenthor and Armanel?
It pains me to bring you this news, but our friends were among those who fell in battle. We will never forget their valor, and shall always honor their sacrifice.
Your words are kind, and I thank you for them. But my friends are dead nonetheless. What is more, they died under my command. It is a heavy burden to bear. But what of Agendar? Was he too slain in battle, or does he yet live?
Agendour wasn't here. I'll wager he's still skulking at Karn Doom.
Then we must seek for him there. Armanel and Berenthor must be avenged.
You must rest, Bellerom. Your wounds need time to heal.
No, I would be there at the end. I must avenge my kin.
We will avenge them, Bellerom. They were our friends as well. Agendar will pay for all he has done.
Yes. It is clear I cannot accompany you now. And if you delay, others may die. I will not be responsible for that. Go, with my blessing upon you, friends.
Farewell, great heart. We look to see you soaring over the mountaintops upon our return.
Here, take my hand.
You needn't be doing me any favors. The mountain I can't climb hasn't been built.
Well, we won't be going back that way, I'm thinking.
But you were correct, Eridan. There are no guards watching this route.
Small wonder.
We cannot count on it remaining unwatched for long. Come, let us find a way into this fortress.
Finishes Agendar's beast. He will not escape us that way again.
But the battle took a terrible toll and you were already injured. Are you strong enough to retreat from here?
I will regain my strength soon enough. But I have no intention of retreating. I wish to be part of the final stroke against Agendaur, the blood of my kin. And the bonds of friendship demand this of me.
The dwarves of Nordenbad promised to see you restored to full health, yet here you are, and clearly injured still. Why were they not true to their word?
Do not fault the folk of Nordenbad. They cared for me diligently. But when I felt strong enough to fly, I set out after you. I am here against the strongest council of Gorin and Nordri. But they are friends. They would not constrain me when my heart led me on.
Since you will not be persuaded, will you at least promise to hold back from battle until our need is very great? There is nothing to be gained from spending your life without cause.
It shall be as you say. Now let us go on. The enemy will be upon us if we delay any further.
We must be close. Stay together.
Can it be? The same 3 lackeys who hid behind the elves at Fornost? You? You are the ones who have followed in my wake, upsetting my plans.
Yes, and we have thwarted you at every turn.
All you have done is raise my ire. Because of your insolence, my conquest of the North shall be all the more cruel.
Such threats only strengthen our resolve, monster.
Come down and face us, Agendaur. You have much to answer for.
Witless fools. I learned at the hand of the Dark Lord himself. I am Sauron's greatest weapon in the North. You rush only to your death. Master! I need your strength!
It would seem I made the right choice. Sauron is no more.
What? How could you know that?
It is true. I can feel it. Like a great weight has been lifted from my heart.
I feel it too. He's done it. Frodo's really done it. The ring has been destroyed.
Be that as it may, you must still honor your oath to me. Khorne is mine.
We are true to our word, Dragon. You are welcome to it.
Just see you mind your manners, old worm. And we'll have no quarrel.
Tis a long way home from here, for each of us.
Let us make for Emlodris. You will find no better place to rest and recover.
You have but to say the word, and we will press on.
What say you, Farin? Should we go to Rivendell?
A little rest sounds good.
Something stirs within the shadows across Middle-earth. Eyes watch patiently with foul intent from hidden spaces. Mouths whisper from darkness to corrupt the minds of the just. Hands reach with greedy fingers from unwatched places to grasp for power and wealth. Who will raise their own light against the spread of this darkness? Who will stand against the unknown danger that creeps ever closer? To where shall we look for heroes?
Upon the evening of the 25th of February, 7 days before Gandalf reached Edoras to bring news to Theoden King, a small but significant battle took place between the riders of Rohan and the forces of Isengard. This battle took place at a river crossing on the Isen River at the western edge of Rohan. Here we recount the events of the first battle, for the fords of Isen. Under the command of the Lord Theodred, Second Marshal of the Riddermark, the Westfold Rohirrim prepare to ride north to intercept an army of Orc marching south from Isengard, a gift of the traitor Saruman. Theodred is accompanied by the Lord Grimbold, and the Lord Elfhelm is soon to arrive from Edoras with an additional 4 companies of riders. If these Orc cannot be stopped, they will cross the Isen and lay waste to all of Rohan. 20 miles out from the ford, the column of riders are halted by a distant horn call, and 2 scouts appear out of the haze, riding hard from the north. Their news is grim. Orc scouting parties have been sighted just ahead. A second horn blast rings out, and battle standards unfurl in response. Then, the formation sets out again, this time its pace quickening into a gallop. Perhaps the ride will not be so long after all. Swords drawn, spears readied, the Rohirrim wait upon the edge of war. Spread out across the plain below them is the army of Isengard, sizable in number and well fortified. The Lords Theodred and Grimbold stand in front of the formation, anchored by 2 great war banners that billow softly in the wind. A long, loud horn blast announces their arrival to the enemy, and then the wait is over. For Theoden King, for the House of Errol, for Rohan.
first light of the men back into battle. This will be a glorious day for the people of Rohan.
Without me, eyes are marbles. No darkness they see. Faces look garbled. No flurry they feel. No breath, no cheer. Death not to fear. Time is not spent. Roses has no scent. At nothing you can marvel without me. But it wasn't roses, my precious, not roses. Lilies. Not lilies, not roses. Which one was it, precious? Quiet! Someone's coming.
Kick and a hat and a cage upon his back.
We may provide you with a cart. There is no hope for him, I fear. The creature is lost.
Well, let's see how he responds to some light.
Someone tortured him, long before the Dunedain found him. The darkness grows beyond our borders. My people are growing anxious. We cannot let this evil linger among us on Earth. We believe that he went to Mordor.
That's what I feared. What did he hope to find, I wonder? Leave us. I want to hear what he has to say. Bilbo Baggins. Yes, you remember him. He found you more than 60 years ago, deep underneath the roots of the Misty Mountains. He took something from you. A ring.
My precious.
You were looking for it, weren't you? You left your home in the mountains, worming your way down the hills, always hiding from the moon. You followed the Hobbit's trace all the way east to the Lonely Mountain. But then you stopped and turned south. Why? Something must have drawn you away. A voice calling you to the land of shadow?
Leave us alone!
Whispering your name in your dreams?
Not listening!
So, once again, what is your name?
Smeagol!
Very well, Smeagol. Now, let us start at the beginning.
friends once. A family.
They kicked us, cast us out, cast them all, cast them. It was our birthday. Yes, it was.
Your birthday?
Back to the tunnel, come on!
Climbed up too high, didn't we, precious? Not safe here. He mustn't see us. No, not him. His eye sees all, they says. All lands and mountains. It might see baggins. Not him. Not him. Don't speak to him. Don't listen.
Ghost, spy, no matter.
Hide.
Hey, what?
Must get out of the light, dear. They will find us.
Look at me. Look at me! They brought you to him, didn't they? The Dark Lord. What did you tell him? What did you tell Sauron? The ring! What did you tell him?
Nothing! Nothing! We swears! We swears!
Nask!
Don't tell them, precious! Baggins took it! Baggins from the Shire!
So he knows.
Shut up! Don't lose it!
Our story is more than what hobbits and elves know. It is time we told it ourselves. With hammer and axe, we cleanse the world from the shadow of the ring and its master. Yet we dwarves celebrate as a scattered people, cut off from our one true home. Across Middle-earth we mine and sculpt, delving for riches, yet the greatest treasure remains out of our reach. Moria. Durin built it before the first sun rose. And through the ages, when darkness threatened our great kingdom, he awoke to lead us again. Until the Balrog took it all away. That was 1,000 years ago. And Durin the Deathless has not returned. Some say, be patient. I say, we wait no longer. It is time to journey from every mountain. Come, rally together. Bring your axes and tools, craft and courage. It is time we dwarves return to Moria.
Dwarves from every clan have answered your call, despite the King Under the Mountain's objection. Lord Gimli, Erebor will not support entering the Black Pit.
If the king wants to stop us, he can come himself.
Every attempt you've made has failed. This is a sign.
No signs or kings are going to stop us. This is the time to reclaim Khazad-dûm. Today, we get into that mountain. Any luck?
Nah, won't budge. Did you try speaking friend?
Now, why didn't I think of that before? You did your best. On to plan B.
Ah, finally. Plan B? Is that blasting fire?
I'd stand back if I were you.
This is madness! Gimli, you can't! We have to wait for Durin!
Durin's not here. We have to do this ourselves. Maybe this will wake him up. Limin Barak, Limin Tagaz, Kazad Dashtin.
Oh, no! Lord Gimli! This is another sign!
Oh, hammer tongues. It's the Fourth Age. Nothing is going to stop us.
You heard Lord Gimli. Let's go. Pack it in. Yes, nice and tight. Come on, help him out.